Couple of games away from home. Wareham back here at Spillane Field to take on the Orleans Firebirds. Dan Shalam with you alongside Joe Henry here on the Cranberry Federal Credit Union pregame show. Joe, a day in which Wareham has a chance to string together back-to-back wins for the first time this season after a 5-2 victory over Falmouth last night.
Of course, the big headline is finally getting on the board, went over the bridge, getting the first road win, snapping an 11-game road losing streak to start the season yesterday, but home has been very kind to the Gatemen, especially as of late. They're now 500 at home, which maybe wouldn't be exactly what you're looking for, but certainly is a pretty good mark. And you're going against an Orleans squad that has picked up a couple impressive wins the past few days, but has really struggled on the road overall. Just 3-9. You have to like the matchup to the bottom teams in the league so far.
Certainly, this Orleans squad taking down YD, who is still in the top spot over there in the East Division, and then Chatham. They're only 3 games out of a playoff spot, as is Wareham, and you really look for this offense to keep up some of that production that they got off to against the Commodores.
Certainly, I mean, the first inning was the big one, and that's something that we've started to see from the Gatemen the past 2 weeks is producing early in games. It was the biggest thing missing from this team the first couple of weeks, and as they've started to rack up some more wins, they've become more dialed consistently early in games offensively, and that's helped out. Consistently great starting pitching. Look for more of that today with Mark Brissy on the mound, but absolutely a big key for the Gatemen. Get on top early. It's what they've done consistently the past week, and it has paid dividends.
Well, one of the guys who's in the lineup tonight that can contribute and do exactly that is Carter Groen, and the third member of our crew, CeCe Gabriel, is standing by with him now.
Thanks, guys. Here with Carter Groen of the Gatemen. Carter, a recent addition to this Gatemen team, but back at LaSalle, 72 RBI. That's a single-season record for the program. What makes you so explosive at bat?
I think you just, kind of got to live for those moments when runners are on. Kind of got to salivate at the plate, take those ABs and execute. And, you're not just hitting, you're playing offense. And I kind of took a lot of pride in that this year, and had a good lineup and some solid dudes in front of me that got on, and I was able to knock in, and it kind of ended up being the way it went this season. So super excited and super happy about the way things went, and really grateful for the group of guys that I had and the dudes that were hitting in front of me, and it's just everybody, so it was a special season for sure.
Well, you take your talents to Pitt this upcoming season. What about their program made it so special to you?
I really love the coaches, honestly. I really connected with them. Being somebody that's been in the portal before, I kind of really knew what I was looking for, what I wanted out of a program, what I wanted out of a staff, and Pitt really checked those boxes. And in situations like those, with other opportunities and whatnot, and other conferences, or maybe other destinations or locations, kind of got to go with your gut. And my gut feeling was telling me to go to Pitt, and that's where I saw myself, taking the next step in my career and eventually moving on to the next level, which is the end goal. So that's my answer. I'm super happy about it. I think that I'm going to be in really good hands, and we're going to work really well together and put up a solid season, some good numbers, and be surrounded by some really good dudes in the process. So yeah.
As you speak on the coaching staff, what was the message from Smythe facing Orleans tonight? Just
kind of ride with what we do best, and work with each other, play baseball. We're not up there just hitting. We're not out there just playing defense. We're out there playing the game. And sometimes it's back-to-back knocks. Sometimes it's a homer. Sometimes it's manufacturing. But at the end of the day, we just got to come out here and play the game. Play the game that we all know and love, that we're all pretty dang good at, and just have fun with it. Just kind of get a little momentum going, especially after the road win yesterday. Kind of finishing that out was big. He spoke to us beforehand, and kind of told us that we're not out of this, and that we can make this season what we want, as long as we kind of come together and make some things happen here on out.
Well, thanks for your time, guys. Back to you.
Thanks so much, CeCe. Excited to hear from you during the game tonight. Joe, we talked a little bit of offense on the beginning of the pregame show. How about Mark Brissy tonight, the starting pitcher for Wareham, looking to follow up what was a brilliant pitching performance yesterday from Jaden Barfield?
It's a Gatemen pitching staff that has gotten better and better as the year has gone on, and that's been true for a few select individuals, and Mark Brissy is one of them. Feels like every single outing he has improved upon something that had been plaguing him previously. His last outing against Chatham out of the bullpen, 3 innings of fantastic, just 1-run ball. He struck out 6. His swing and miss stuff has been great. This is an Orleans lineup that has 3 marquee hitters hitting 2, 3, and 4. But other than that, is a pretty weak unit. Look for Brissy to lean on the swing and miss stuff again tonight.
Should be a fun one here from Spillane Field as Wareham looks for back-to-back wins for the first time this season. Joe mentioned it. Mark Brissy on the bump. We'll have him the entire game, everything in between, coming up for you here on the Wareham Gatemen Broadcast Network.
After its first road win of the summer, Wareham returns to Spillane Field for a matchup between the two divisions' worst in Orleans and Wareham. Welcome inside the booth with Dan Shalam. I'm Adam Hipsky. Dan, should be a fun one today. Gatemen and Firebirds both battling for some playoff positioning, trying to get to that 4th spot in their respective divisions.
Each are 3 games back heading into this game, and you're really looking for Wareham to get off to a hot start here today. This is a Gatemen team that trails by 3, looking for their first back-to-back wins of the season. You can do that here today against Orleans, but 2 teams that are kind of trending in a similar direction right now, trying to pick up steam.
We'll get into our players to watch. On the Gateman side, he's batting 9th today, but you certainly like what you have in him. Currently sporting a 4-game hit streak. It's Henry DeGiorgio, the shortstop from Northeastern.
Yeah, he's kind of become the everyday shortstop, and you see him making a nice 6-3 double play right there to end off the bottom of the 8th. That really helped Wareham get across the line yesterday, but he hasn't just been doing it defensively. Offensively as well has really been a mainstay in the order, producing at the bottom of that lineup and setting up the top.
So Henry DeGiorgio, a 4-game hit streak, but on the Orleans side, there's a guy that's nearly doubled it. It's Bub Terrell, coming off a 3-hit game, a double, a triple, and a home run. Dan, out of the cycle, he was only missing a single.
He got all of the hard ones. He really left the easy one on the table, but Bub Terrell, what a player. This guy just loves to crush the baseball. He is participating in the home run derby, and there's a reason why. Him and Cohen DeCly just love to smash it, and he's one of the most consistent players on the team. He's going to try and look to get to the starter tonight for Wareham, Mark Brissy.
And Mark Brissy, the 3-pitch mix, fastball, slider, sinker. Dan, he's coming off probably his best outing after being moved into a starting role.
Without a doubt, and in that game, he just really pitched deep. He did a really nice job of getting off to a hot start, which is something that Wareham needed. And you're looking for that same production today from Mark Brissy, a guy that, you mentioned it, struggled to start off this season, but has settled in really well since then. And this, a Wareham bullpen that has been taxed a little bit over the last few days. Yeah. You're looking to give some length to them today.
And something interesting, you see it right there. Mark Brissy, a 5.73 ERA. His starting pitching matchup, Jake Eccles, with an identical 5.73 mark. But Brissy deals to an Orleans lineup that ranks nearly dead last, 9th in the Cape League out of 10 teams in runs per game. They only lead Wareham, but it's the top of the order that's extremely dangerous. But one notable omission, Dan, it's Dom Cadiz no longer batting second.
He was in the lineup to start off, took batting practice here at Spillane Field today, but just got a little bit uncomfortable. So he's out of the lineup, and some switches all around. This was not the original plan for Kelly Nicholson today, but they're going to have to roll with it.
But Rowan Kelly, a guy that's been really a consistent presence atop the lineup. Adam Magpok, though, really not. He was originally supposed to bat 6th, now being slotted up in the 2nd spot, but that 3-4 punch. Tyler Myatt and Bub Terrell, extremely dangerous. You don't want to let them get going. Brissy's dealt his final warm-up pitches of the game. We're set to go. It'll be lefty switch hitting and then a lefty to start this game for Orleans. Brissy's ready into his windup. First pitch of the evening is a fastball on the outside corner, a called strike. Dan Shalam, we're right on time. 6 o'clock first pitch.
There you go. See if We're over under 3 hours tonight. Yesterday's game was a little bit weird. Officially got scored as 2 hours 58 after it was started, postponed, and ended.
Gatemen coming off a win at Gov Fuller Field. Back-to-back strikes to start Mark Brissy's day. But definitely a weird one. Resumed yesterday in the third inning. Wareham got out to a 3-0 start prior to the game being halted. But the Gatemen come away with their first road win of the summer. 0-2 misses inside. Kelly, the leadoff hitter for this Orleans team, but coming off a pretty unproductive day, their last time out. 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts against Chatham. Brissy's 1-2 outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brissy, fastball, slider, sinker. Fastball sits middle 90s. So last time out against Chatham, started touching 97. In the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Good start to Mark Brissy's day. 1 up, 1 down. He's got his first strikeout of the evening. Comes in the top of the first.
It just goes to what works for him well, the fastball, and he elevates it there, gets the chase from Kelly, a guy who was striking out a lot the other day against the Anglers, like you mentioned, and Brissy off to the right start.
So now Adam Magpok, the switch-hitting second baseman out of San Diego State. First pitch. Called strike. 0-1. Our umpires today, it's Will Bowers calling balls and strikes. At first base, Mike Griffin, and assisting him across the diamond is Ryan DeMare. Brissy's 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Magpok, we just talked about it earlier, moved up to the second spot in place of Dom Cadiz. 1-1, up and away. 2 balls, 1 strike. Magpok, kind of an interesting story. Second Cape League team he's played on this summer, was released from Brewster after 9 games with the Whitecaps. Batted just 1 for 19. Got added to Orleans back on June 30th. He gets added in the count, 3 balls and 1 strike. Was with Brewster all of last year. Won Brewster team MVP, had a team record 29 stolen bases, led the league. 3-1 misses outside, and a 5-pitch walk. First base runner of the day for the Firebirds. And it comes against the second hitting Magpok.
And it's not the guy you want to walk. You were just listing off how he's such a threat on the bases. He's going to be trying to get active on Cohen Nicolai, a guy who's only thrown out 3 hitters on 18 tries so far this season. So expect Magpok to be jumping around over there at first and probably attempt to steal at some point.
And so far this summer, just 3 stolen bases on 4 attempts. Brings up Tyler Myatt, the designated hitter, and a check over on first. Magpok back standing. Myatt, Cape League All-Star, going up against Brissy, another Cape League All-Star. Brissy, one of 2 Wareham pitchers selected to the team. First pitch cut on and missed. Myatt well-deserved. 295 with 4 home runs. Getting the day off defensively, usually an outfielder for Orleans. Behind 0-1. Top of the first. Firebirds trying to get on the board early. 0-1 outside. Nicolai looked to back pick.
Oof.
Lost it. Magpok took a few steps towards second, but ultimately decides to retrieve back to first.
I'm surprised it didn't go there. It seemed like the ball was far enough away from Nicolai where he had a jump, but just hesitated. Good for Mark Brissy and the Wareham defense sake.
Myatt, 3 straight games with the hit. Trying to make it 4, 1-1. Fly ball out to left. First chance for Carter Groen. Jogs over into the gap and makes the play for the first out of the inning. Looked like he had it all the way until the last second, but still gets under it, and there's 2 down.
He seemed a little bit uncomfortable there, moved to his left side as the ball was coming down, Still grabs it. However, now Brissy has to face Bub Terrell, who we were just talking about. This will be the biggest challenge here for him to start.
Bub Terrell, the right fielder, batting .288. Mentioned him in our open. A 7-game hit streak. Trying to give Orleans first run of the game, and Brissy won't let him do any damage with the bat. Hits him on the first pitch, and now Orleans has 2 aboard.
And maybe that's a good thing for Wareham to not have to actually face Bub Terrell at the plate, who had a homer, triple, and a double yesterday. Just absolutely mashing it. He seems to be okay. That one caught him on the leg. He seems to be smiling down there over at first base. So no worries there for Bub Terrell. And an early runner into scoring position with 2 outs for the Firebirds.
With 2 outs, Magpok, you certainly feel like he'll have the speed to score from second if Garrett Larson, the left fielder, can record a base hit. Still in his first handful of games on the Cape this summer. Right on right. First guy to swing it from the right side for the Firebirds today. As Brissy sets, comes home, misses downstairs. Wareham's defensive alignment today, Cohen Nicolai, the catcher. A pretty typical infield, really, for the Gatemen, with Connor Cuff and Henry DeGiorgio on the left side of the infield. R.J. Hamilton and Tony Lira over on the right side. Pitch to Larson, called a strike, 1-1. Talked about Carter Groen, the left fielder, taking that first catch, getting the first put out of the game for the Gatemen. Jason Wax in center and Foster Apple out in right. 1-1 on Larson. The pitch grounded over to Hamilton. Goes to second himself and ends the inning right then and there. Orleans puts together a little bit of a late threat. 2 on the board, but can't scratch any across. No hits, no runs, no errors in the field. 2 runners left on base. Through a half inning at Spillane Field, no score between the Firebirds and Gatemen.
Hey, it's me, Wizzy. Water Whiz is the ultimate vacation. Huge slides, a not-so-lazy river, and more ways to cool off than you can count. Plan ahead and save. Tickets as low as $39.95. Rally your crew and lock in your date.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Avenue in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Hi, this is Stephen Goulston. Homeowners choose Mario's Roofing because we're fair, honest, and provide quality services. Call Mario's Roofing today for a free estimate. 781-344-2420. Mario's Roofing. We won't soak you to keep you warm and dry.
Ready for the bottom of the first at Spillane Field. It's Jake Eccles that takes the bump for the Firebirds, trying to shut down a Wareham offense that ranks dead last in the Cape League in runs per game.
The 6'4", 170 righty coming out of FSU, a guy who is transferring to Grand Canyon next season. But this past year with the Seminoles, pitched in 9 games, all in relief, did not record a win or a loss, 2 hitless and scoreless innings, striking out 3 against Duke, that being the highlight of his season. So far this year with the Firebirds, pitched last against YD and then Bourne. 4 innings for him, 1 run given up across those 2 games. This his first start of the season, though, so it's going to be interesting to see how he, like Brissy, adapts to being in the starter role.
Really just a 3-pitch mix for Eccles. Fastball, slider, cutter against a Wareham lineup, Dan, that statistically the numbers don't back it up, but feels like they're starting to find their groove as of late.
It's looked a lot better lately. Certainly has a couple of early home runs in that game against Falmouth, starting with the guy you see at the top of the order today, R.J. Hamilton, hoping that they can get that same hot start here tonight.
Right on right, first pitch to R.J. Hamilton's foul tipped into the mitt of McDougal for strike 1. Hamilton, a Cape League All-Star. Second baseman from Duke, has recorded hits in 10 of his last 11 games. 1 outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Eccles, plenty of rest. The right-hander on his way to Grand Canyon. Last pitched 9 days ago against YD and gave the Firebirds just 1 inning. Didn't allow a hit. No walks. It's a clean 1-2-3 frame. As Hamilton punches it right side down for a base hit. Larson comes charging in. Hamilton turns, hightailing to second. Throw goes in. It's late, and R.J. Hamilton, a leadoff double, and Wareham starts fast here on the bottom of the first.
That's the way to do it. He doesn't get a whole lot of it, gets enough, keeps it in play, and then the speed R.J. Hamilton provides is simply unmatched. Is able to leg out the double. The throw wasn't there in time, and an early runner into scoring position.
Second double of the season for R.J. Hamilton, and his first since June 21st against Falmouth. Brings up Connor Cuff, left-handed third baseman. Trying to put Wareham in front early. First pitch. This is in the dirt. Splits between the legs of McDougal. Hamilton looked at third, but retreats back to the bag. Connor Cuff still early in his Gatemen tenure. This his 5th game of the summer. One ball, no strikes. Eccles pitch outside. Couple of misses early in this at-bat to Cuff, and he's ahead 2 balls, no strikes. Cuff in his 5th game, but he's been around since early July. Took a week off between July 5th and July 12th. A little banged up. He's ahead 3 balls and no strikes. But back in the lineup. Recorded 5 hits already in his first 4 games. One of 4 lefty hitters in the lineup today for the Gatemen. 3-0. Slider bends in, called a strike. Trying to bring in R.J. Hamilton with the leadoff double. 3-1. Grounded foul. Cuff wanted it. Now Eccles has brought the count to full.
And it's a nice job of Eccles responding and working back from the 3-0. Seemed a little bit scared to go back into the zone after the double issued to Hamilton, but he's right back.
Runner on second. Still nobody out. The payoff. Grounded left side into left field for a base hit. Hamilton gets the wave around. The throw comes home. It's cut off. And an RBI single from Connor Cuff. Just 2 batters in. Wareham's got a 1-0 lead.
You couldn't ask for a better start if you are the Gatemen. Just a nice piece of hitting, slaps the ball to the left side, outside of the outstretched glove of Hipsky. Myatt came up throwing, but Hamilton was beating him there all the way, so throws cut off, and it's 1-0.
Now Cohen Nicolai tries to keep the line moving. Catcher batting third out of the transfer portal on his way to Oregon State. Wareham with an early lead. First pitch, taken for a strike. 0-1. Really nice job from Connor Cuff. Was ahead 3 balls, no strikes. Waited for his. Even in a 3-2 count. Found a pitch that he liked. Got it past Hipsky for a base hit. The 0-1 is called a strike, bottom rail. Nicolai behind 0-2. Opposite start to the battle that Eccles had with Cuff. The 0-2. Punched, right side, Larson over. It drops in front of him. 3 straight hits for the Gatemen to start the game, and Cuff stays put at second. But Wareham has 2 aboard, still nobody out.
Just stacking up good ABs right now, and was a hot start to the ball game for Wareham. Clearly seeing Eccles well, and it really hasn't been that hard contact. It's just been soft, getting the ball in play, and good things are happening.
And this is pretty crazy, Dan, but Cohen Nicolai, That's his first single since June 24th. He's hit the ball, but it's been all doubles or home runs as Jason Wax steps in. First pitch, cutter called strike. But was a little out of sync. Had a 2-for-4 game against Chatham with a double and a home run. The 0-1. Wax looked to square to bunt, pulled back though. Wax won a few Gatemen with a successful sacrifice bunt this summer.
Why not be a little strategic here and go for it? Nobody out or ready to run across.
1 ball, 1 strike. Eccles. Down and in. 2-1 the count. Wax, after hitting .327 with Tulane this past spring, entered the portal, staying in-state on his way to LSU. Committed 3 weeks ago as time is called. Home plate umpire Will Bowers making sure everyone's on the same page. 2 balls, 1 strike the count on Jason Wax with 5 RBIs this summer, trying to add to that total. Gatemen already with a 1-0 edge. 2-1. This is low. Hitter's advantage to Jason Wax. Did not play yesterday against Falmouth. Had a 1-for-3 day with a couple of walks against Bourne. Three-one. Dots the outside corner. Wax bent over, ready to drop the bat for ball 4. But another full count. Has been far from an efficient frame for Jake Eccles, already on his 18th pitch. Hasn't recorded an out yet. The payoff. Tapped foul. Wax stays alive in a 2-strike count. With Connor Cuff on second and Cohen Niklai off a first.
Well, that's the thing. The misses have been bad from Eccles. It has not been a competitive outing from him to start.
Orleans playing a shift on the left-handed center fielder. 3 infielders on the right side as Wax stays alive again.
Really good fight here. 8th pitch. The at-bat coming. Has just been battling and making it really hard for Eccles.
We've seen 2 balls end up in right field, but they were both off of right-handed hitters. Orleans trying to play the pull on Wax. Payoff. Hit on the ground. High comebacker. Eccles only plays at first. Goes over, hauled in by Bub Terrell for the first out of the inning. It gives us a chance to take a look at Orleans' defensive alignment. A couple of guys shifted around for this Firebirds team after Dom Cadiz was originally slotted in at first base. Bub Terrell there. But Adam Magpok, kind of a utility guy. Another one that catches my eye playing second today for Orleans.
Yeah, he can really play anywhere. He was the second baseman originally when this lineup was trotted out at first. He stays there. The big changes out in left and right. Myatt in left field, Larson in right.
His first pitch to Foster Apple is swung on and lifted into shallow right field. Bub Terrell, the first baseman, back on it. He makes the play for the second out of the inning. 2 down, and I think Orleans, if anything, got a defensive upgrade with its replacements. Moving Bub Terrell into first, and then Tyler Myatt, who was originally slated to have the day off defensively, now in left, and then Garrett Larson over to right. So Dylan Dubovic, 6th Gateman hitter to come to the plate this inning. Swings at a first pitch fastball and lines it foul. 0-1 on Dubovic, who's batting just .188 over the course of the summer, but finding his groove at the plate lately. He's totaled hits in 3 consecutive games. Base knock here can give Wareham an extended lead as Cuff comes in after the wild pitch, and he's in to score. So Dylan Dubovic doesn't even need to record a single to give Wareham a padded lead. It's 2-0 after an errant throw off the right hand of Jake Eccles.
You'll take that all day. Good heads-up base running from Cuff, being ready to go, and McDougal had no chance on that one. It went back to the backstop pretty hard and wasn't a good bounce off it.
Dubovic, you saw, actually gave the stop sign to Cuff. That wasn't his read. He was coming home all the way. 1-1 downstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike. But runner on third, Cohen and Cly, who had the single. 2-1. Outside. 3 balls and 1 strike now.
Just missed on the outside corner there from Eccles. He's been trying to work outside on Dubovic.
3-1. Grounded over to second. Magpok smothers onto first, and he makes the play for the 3rd out of the inning, but not before Wareham tacks on 2 against the starter, Jake Eccles. 3 hits, 2 runs, no errors in the field. 1 runner left on for the Gatemen. We're through 1 at Spillane Field. Wareham with a 2-0 edge.
Cranberry Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting financial success.
Top of the second, Mark Brissy back to work, and he does so with a 2-0 lead after a really productive first inning from the Gatemen offensively, and also coming off a pretty solid outing yesterday at Falmouth.
A big one to finally get that first win away from home. Obviously, the game was called on Friday. We finished it yesterday. Dubovic, Hamilton, both homering, and had enough of run support to get across the line there. Just big to get that monkey off the back.
So it'll be 6, 7, 8 due up for Orleans. Jonathan Gomez, Ryan McDougall, and Tyler Harmony, the minimum for Brissy, who's into his windup. First pitch, fastball, a called strike, 0-1. Gomez, a late addition to the Orleans lineup after everything got kind of switched around. 1, grounded foul. Gomez out of Fairleigh Dickinson, batting .154 in his 12th game of the summer. Behind 0-2 on Brissy. Allowed a couple of free passes in the first inning, but worked around them. Slider misses inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Gomez. Brissy did not surrender a hit in the first. It was a walk and a hit by pitch. That was all Orleans mustered. 1-2 outside. Leveled at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gatemen already up 2-0. Two. Up and in. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Trying to give Orleans its first leadoff base runner of the game. It's Brissy's payoff. Grounded over to third. Cuff gloves. Strong throw to first. And Lira completes the play for the first out.
Nice job right there from Brissy. Was up 0-2. Dealt 3 straight balls, but locates when it matters. forces the ground ball, and Cuff take care of it easily.
Now Ryan McDougal digs in for the Firebirds. As we look at the Gatemen defensive alignment, it's a Wareham team collectively as a whole, Dan, that feels like they're playing a lot better defensive baseball.
And I think that comes from the consistency throughout this lineup. Nikolai has become your catcher now every other day. Lyra is almost your everyday first baseman. Jason Wax is almost your everyday center fielder. Same goes for DeGiorgio at short. Just a lot of consistency. And that's allowed more comfortability as well.
And some of those plays where you're in the middle, where you're calling guys off, or you're trying to make it a more fluid, ground ball, if it's in between the two middle infielders. It seems like all of those plays, like you mentioned, they come with consistency, but started to smooth out around the edges. 3 balls and no strikes on Ryan McDougal. The catcher from Dayton. This is inside, 4-pitch walk. Second walk of the day for Mark Brissy. When he's hit the zone, he's been good. Hasn't allowed a ton of hard contact, really any hard contact, but has struggled with locating his pitches, and Eric Luxus wants to prevent this from getting any worse.
Well, and he's had 2 3-ball counts to start off this inning. It really hasn't been his best stuff, and that one was the worst at-bat that he's had. Those were 4 misses that were pretty comfortably out of the zone on each pitch, so Luxus coming in here just trying to calm him down, reset. You have the 8-9 hitters coming up for Orleans, not guys that necessarily tear it up, but they're also not going to swing at pitches if they're non-competitive. So Luxus just getting him back on the right track here.
And for Brissy in his last outing, through 60 pitches versus the Anglers, 50% were strikes. And right now, through his first 27 pitches today, only 11 for strikes. So it brings up the 8th hitting Tyler Harmony. He's 0 for his last 8. Third baseman out of Northeastern. Teammates with Wareham shortstop Henry DeGiorgio. First pitch, mound visit, at least temporarily, has done its job, as the Gatemen relievers that start the game in that dugout start the walk over out in left field. It's the 0-1 hit on the ground left side and foul. 0-2 on Harmony. With Ryan McDougal off of first. Brissy trying to get his second strikeout of the game. And no ball, 2-strike count. Readies, sends it home. Upstairs, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Wareham certainly likes the kind of baseball that it's been playing as of lately, but Orleans kind of feeling the same way. Firebirds back-to-back wins. 1-2 misses well outside. But Orleans starting to find its footing.
Certainly, and they have back-to-back wins, not just against bottom-tier teams in this league as right now, but against the top YD Red Sox and then the Chatham Anglers. It's been 2 impressive victories for them.
And the Anglers, the 2-2 is popped foul. The Anglers, really the team that Orleans is most concerned with right now. Right now, Chatham sits 4th in the East Division. Firebirds trying to catch up to them. 3 games back of the Anglers, so we've hit game 25 here in the Cape League season. 2-2 from Brissy. Called strike 3. Harmony goes down looking, and there's 2 down in the second.
And just nice there from Brissy. He missed with a couple of pitches outside that time. Just goes back to what has worked for him, which is pound the zone, let the defense do the work, and that time Ty Harmony doesn't even swing it, gets a strikeout.
Now the 9th hitting Casey Comiskey, shortstop, who hasn't had a great summer for Orleans, batting just 156. A really good game against the Anglers his last time out. First pitch is looped foul. Went 2 for 4 against Chatham. moved down a couple of spots in the lineup for Orleans today, adding 9th, but obviously Kelly Nicholson liking what he's seen lately from Comiskey out of Southern New Hampshire. Just finished up his first season there after a couple of years at Seton Hall. The 0-1 rolled over foul. Now Brissy's got the shortstop behind in a no-ball, 2-strike count.
This would be a big out. 2 for Brissy. Avoid having to face the top of the order here in the second and make nothing come of that walk.
It's Ryan McDougal still off of first. Brissy hunched over. Has thrown 35 pitches today. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts from Mark Brissy after the mound visit from Eric Luxus. No hits, no runs, no errors in the field. 1 runner left on for Orleans. We're through an inning and a half at Spillane Field. The Gatemen have a 2-0 lead, looking to add to it on the other side here on Cape League TV.
Every child deserves the basics. Gifts to Give is making that happen, and you can help. Volunteer, donate, or shop their thrift store Saturdays. Visit giftstogive.org and make a difference today.
The Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and a recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 172 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
If you or a family member have been hurt at work, don't wait for the insurance company to discontinue your benefits or deny you medical treatment. Get an experienced workers' compensation attorney now before it's too late. The lawyers at Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP have been practicing workers' compensation law for many years and are experts in the field of workers' compensation law. Having the advantage of retaining an attorney early on may make all the difference in your case. Know your rights. Be prepared and contact Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP also have offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkmlaw.com.
Bottom of the second, bottom of the order, due up for the Gatemen. 7-8-9, righty, lefty in the forms of Tony Lira, Carter Groen, and Henry DeGiorgio. Wareham and Orleans going at it for the second time this summer. And the big one was that walk-off winner for the Firebirds. That was at Eldridge Park. Wareham trying to pick up that first win against this Orleans team.
Yeah, that was a backbreaker as well back at Eldridge because they led in that game and things just kind of fell apart down the stretch. Certainly looking to protect this lead today.
First pitch from Jake Eccles to start out his second inning as a called strike. Not the start that Eccles would have liked in the first inning. Wareham sent 6 hitters to the plate, started the game with 3 consecutive hits. It was just the second time at home this season that the Gatemen have logged 3 hits in a row. It was a double from Hamilton and then back-to-back singles from Connor Cuff and Cohen Nicolai. Now Tony Lira trying to have similar success to start out the second inning. Right now he's behind 0-2. Waves and misses down on 3 pitches. Tony Lira strikes out for the 21st time this summer, and there's one away.
Not what you want, obviously, especially against a guy like Eccles, who struggled with some of his location back in the first and left a couple over the plate, but exactly what the doctor ordered if you were the Firebirds.
First strikeout of the day for Jake Eccles. Now Carter Groen, the left fielder from LaSalle, out of the transfer portal, on his way to Pitt. Takes a fastball for ball 1. Groen in just his 4th game of the summer after a very successful junior year with LaSalle. And he gets hit by the offering from Eccles. So it's not a hit, but another Wareham base runner, 4th of the game, comes in the bottom of the second.
And you'll take it whatever way you get it. You don't really care. That one barely clipped Groen just on the letters there, the big block Wareham, so he's aboard.
Groen was hit by a pitch the other day at Bourne. Now it's Henry DeGiorgio with hits in 4 straight games. 1 down, bottom of the second. Swings at a first pitch fastball and pops it out of play. DeGiorgio asking for a new bat from his teammate R.J. Hamilton, who's currently on deck. They're in the dugout, sifting through. DeGiorgio, I guess, content. And now digs back in. Everyone's kind of looking back in that dugout for the Gatemen. It's behind 0-1. Eccles pitch. This is low, ball 1. See if DeGiorgio can battle here. For losing the grip earlier in this at bat. Big hole on the right side of the infield. Swings and lifts it into shallow right field. Larson coming in, long run, playable, and a diving effort makes the catch for the second out. Superman-like sprawl from Garrett Larson saves potential extra bases from Henry DeGiorgio. And the throw comes in, gets away. Carter Groen moves up to second. I think everyone was taken aback by the catch that Garrett Larson just made. You see it right there. I mean, the bullpen's reaction tells the entire story.
I mean, it was one heck of a catch. And then the ball just kind of rolled around on the infield a little bit after he made the catch. Nobody called time officially, so Groen saw the ball go behind the plate and moved up 90 feet. So an RBI opportunity now for R.J. Hamilton.
The double is first time up. Trying to keep it going. Wareham with a 2-0 lead. First pitch inside and nearly takes off a piece of R.J. Hamilton. Slider that tailed in. One ball, no strikes. Carter Groen, who is hit by a pitch off of second. Eccles. Another slider. This time reaches the plate, but misses low.
And clearly that little bloop single, that turned into a double for Hamilton, still in the back of Eccles' mind.
That last hit from Hamilton now has recorded one in 11 of his last 12 games. Really good start for the Gatemen. 4 straight games where they've scored a run in the first inning. Ahead 2-0 on Orleans. 3-0. Called strike. Hamilton had walked out of the batter's box. See him, he's not even on the screen. Now he comes back in because he's got a 3-ball, 1-strike count on him.
I thought it was a ball too, but comes in on the StatCast, definitely a strike.
3-1 with Groen off of second. Pitch. This time it's ball 4. Second base runner of the inning for the Gatemen with 2 outs, and now Connor Cuff tries to add to his RBI total. Already picked up 1 in the first inning with an RBI single. He's got runners on first and second.
And the walk there, not the worst thing in the world if you're Orleans. Doesn't really change the scenario for you here. Cuff, a guy that Eccles had in a full count, and then Cuff grounded one between the hole at short and third. Needs to do the same thing here.
Defense playing him straight up. First pitch. Up and away. Easy take for Cuff, and he's ahead 1-0. Out of southeastern Louisiana. Started all 55 games this past spring. Hit .301 with 51 RBIs. 1-0. Cut on and missed. McDougal looked to back pick Hamilton, but Bub Terrell not even playing on the bag at first. Hamilton taking a healthy lead off of first base. 1 ball, 1 strike. Eccles pitch, grounded, this time to the shortstop, Comiskey. Squares up, throws over to first, and it's in time to retire the side. So after a couple of free passes off the hand of Jake Eccles, Wareham strands both. No hits, no runs. 1 error in the field and 2 runners left on base for the Gatemen. Through 2, Wareham leads at 2-0 on Cape League TV.
Cranberry Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting financial success.
Top of the third, Orleans coming off of back-to-back wins. Firebirds last time out against Chatham. Adam Magpok scores on the wild pitch to give the Firebirds a 5-4 lead. Kelly Nicholson's ball club starting to play some better baseball.
Well, that was in the top of the 9th as well, and that a game in which Orleans was leading 4-2 in the bottom half of the 8th. Chatham tied it up 4-4, but some skillful base running got them across the line, and what was a huge win in those East Division standings as the Firebirds are chasing the Anglers for that final playoff spot.
So tonight, Wareham trying to pick up back-to-back wins for the first time this summer. Orleans on the verge of its first 3-game win streak of the season. Right now, trailing 2-0, though. Good start for the Gatemen. Top of the order, due up for the Firebirds, starting with Rowan Kelly, who takes a first-pitch fastball outside at 93 miles an hour, 1-0. Second trip through the order for the starter, Mark Brissy, who hasn't allowed any hits, but just trying to find that command that he had to start the game. Finds it there. Fires a strike, and it's 1-1. Kelly did strike out to start this game. Brissy rounded out his second inning with back-to-back Ks. The 1-1 put on the ground over to DeGiorgio. Off a hop, a high throw. Lira, was his foot down in time? Yes, it was. So not a picture-perfect throw from short, but Tony Lira helps out his fellow infielder, and there's one down.
Well, that was bad on Kelly's part. He was kind of jogging out of the box. He was not putting 100% effort in on that run down to first. If he was, he would have beat it out. But DeGiorgio gets lucky there.
So that ultimately the difference. Took a sharp hop up on DeGiorgio. So now Adam Magpok digs in, the switch-hitting second baseman. First pitch. Comebacker right back to Brissy. An easy toss over to his first baseman. One pitch, one out, and there's now 2 away in the third.
Yeah, this is much more efficient work from Brissy than we've seen previously. He's gotten 2 quick outs, something that could not have been said in the first 2 innings of his work.
Took him 36 pitches to get through the first couple of frames for Brissy. So far, he's recorded 2 outs on just 4 pitches. This one won't be an easy one to get, though. Tyler Myatt digs in. First pitch outside, and Brissy stays away from the middle of the zone for Tyler Myatt. He can punish you quickly. Left fielder from Tennessee. Brissy, deep breath. 1-0. Hit on and missed. 93-mile-an-hour fastball. That's what Brissy had a ton of success with against Chatham. Blowing the fastball by guys. Did so right there against Myatt. The 1-1. Outside. Sinker from the righty, and it's 2-1. Couple of Cape League All-Stars going at it right now. The 2-1. Middle, called strike 2. All-Star game set to take place this weekend in Harwich. There will be no Gatemen games on Saturday or Sunday. Brissy's 2-2 on the way. Spoiled foul. Nice job from Mejia. 2-strike count.
Brissy being forced to work a little bit more here than the previous two.
This will be the 5th pitch of the at-bat. Needed just 4 pitches to retire the first 2 hitters. He's thrown 4 already to Mejia. 2-2. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Strike 3. Mejia, a half-hearted attempt. He goes across the line, and Brissy fires his first 1-2-3 inning of the day. No hits, no runs, no errors in the field, nobody left on base. The Gatemen trying to add to their 2-0 lead when we return on Cape League TV.
Hey Gatemen fans, give it up for a hometown MVP, Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen clean up on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean every day. Big hits, clean streets, and reliable service you can count on. Now that's a winning team. Visit elharveynewbedford.com or call 508-995-0544. Harvey New Bedford, keeping Wareham game ready all season long.
Searching for a golf cart, street legal low-speed vehicle, or utility vehicle? Come visit C2 Vehicles in Wareham or online at c2vehicles.com. Trusted across the South Coast, Cape and Island since 1978, C2 Vehicles has the ride for work, play, and everything in between. Broken PS5 or Xbox? A-Plus Repair specializes in all repairs, including game consoles, computers, smartphones, and tablets. Walk-ins are welcome, and most repairs are done in less than an hour. 508-962-2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installation, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention and rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
2 teams vying for playoff positioning in each of their respective divisions as we've hit the bottom of the 3rd at Spillane Field. Wareham with a 2-0 lead, but the Gatemen and the Firebirds, you see it right there, dead last in each of their 2 divisions.
And both trailing by 3 games of their respective opponent. So this, a big game between both sides, certainly needs some exterior help if you're both teams, if you are to win this game. But still, Wareham in front, in control right now.
Jake Eccles back to work. His first pitch to Cohen Nicolai is a breaking ball that settles in the middle of the zone, and Nicolai wants it back. Not sure he was expecting that one to dip as much as it did. Instead, he takes for strike 1. Nicolai 1 for 1 with a single. He grounds it right side, through the hole for a base hit. Leadoff single, and Cohen Nicolai's got a 2-hit day.
Well, there you go. Not even that hardly hit, just finds the hole and slaps it there. A really nice job from Nicolai after he wanted the first pitch back. It was a cookie middle. That's why he hopped out of the box and was laughing about it. But does a nice job there and sets up Jason Wax.
4th multi-hit game of the summer for Cohen Nicolai. And now Wax steps in. 0 for 1 today. Eccles comes home. Cut on and missed. Wax ready to attack. Nothing in 1 as Wareham trails Cotuit 6 points behind the Kettleers. Orleans behind Chatham. The 0-1. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Firebirds also behind the Anglers by 6 points. The 1-1, Nicolai on the move. The pitch is grounded foul. Probably a hit and run attempt there because I can't imagine Ryan Smythe is sending Cohen Nicolai to steal a base.
Oh, he rarely, if ever, runs. He's one stolen base so far this year, but that was definitely supposed to be a hit and run.
1-2. Nobody out. The pitch from Eccles. Well inside. Nearly gets away from McDougal, but keeps it in front of him, and the count evens at 2-2. Wax was the first out that Jake Eccles got in the first inning after 3 straight hits from the top of the Gatemen order. Outside, count runs full.
And there is an arm warming in the Orleans bullpen right now as they're looking to get someone going because Eccles has not had his best stuff here tonight.
Gave up 2 runs in that first inning. Runner on the move, pitch cut on and miss, throw down. Nicolai's sliding effort, he's in there safely. Shame on us, Dan. We said we didn't think Nicolai would take off, but he did right there. Wax goes down on strikes, first out of the inning, but Nicolai moves into scoring position. Healthy jump from the catcher.
Yeah, because I don't think anyone expected that he was going to go, so I'll take all the blame on that one for saying it was a hit and run previously. Nice job by Nicolai to be heads up, take the free 90 feet, put another runner into scoring position.
Eccles trying to make Foster Apple start his day 0 for 2, just like he did Jason Wax. First pitch inside. Ricochets around in between the legs of McDougal, but Nicolai stays put at second. One 1-0. So the Gatemen have a 2-0 lead. Firebirds trying to stay striking distance. Another pitch that misses, down and in. Nearly identical misses for Jake Eccles. In his first start of the summer, right-hander from Florida State set to transfer to Grand Canyon in the fall. Eccles delivers the 2-0. Curling out of play. Counts 2-1. Apple popped out into shallow right field to the first baseman, Bub Terrell. Was in the first inning. Two 1. Inside. Apple gets himself ahead in the count. 3 balls and 1 strike. Right-handed starter for the Firebirds. Set to fire his 55th pitch of the day. Trying to get through this third inning. 3-1. And on the ground, left side, through the whole base hit. Nicolai had to stay for a second to make sure it got through. But a 1-out single from Foster Apple, and Wareham has runners on the corners.
And similar to Nicolai's single. Wasn't the hardest hit ball, but it's enough to get it through the hole. Runners at the corners, and now a mound visit coming here for Orleans. They want to talk things over. Not sure if this is Eccles coming out of the game just yet. Might just be trying to settle him down here because, again, he has really been all over the place in this game.
It's a visit from the pitching coach, Jim Lawler, and not Kelly Nicholson. So you would imagine that Eccles will stay in the game at least for the time being. Trust him to try and get out of this jam. It was just McDougal. It wasn't the entire infield brought in. So Eccles does stay in the game. He's given up a couple of singles, surrounded by a strikeout on Jason Wax. Wareham trying to pounce at the opportunity and break this game open. Currently with a 2-0 lead, and Dylan Dubovic coming to the plate. After his best game of the summer, technically yesterday against Falmouth, although a lot of his production came before the weather delay altered that game for a few days. Runners on first and third. A check over on first. Terrell to go across his body to prevent that one from getting away, and potential run coming in for the Gatemen to make it 3-0. Eccles on Dubovic, and instead another check on first. Apple certainly a base stealing threat. He's stolen 2 on 2 attempts. Now the first pitch to Dubovic. He swings and taps it foul.
Wareham has tried to do a double steal in this scenario a couple times where they'll have the first base runner basically act as a dummy and pretend to steal second base, sit in the middle to throw the force or throw down to second base, and then have the third base runner come home. See if they do it here.
The 0-1 pitch outside. They were ready for it if Apple wanted to go to second, but instead, it's just ball 1.
Yeah, that was about as clear of a pitch out as it gets right there.
These two sides trying to play a little bit of chess. With Foster Apple off of first, Cohen Decly off of third, 1-1. Slider breaks away. Dubovic ahead, 2-1. Gatemen trying to add to their 2-0 lead. Right now, a sacrifice would do it with just 1 out. Eccles, 2-1. Laced into deep left center field. Myatt goes back. It's over his head, off the wall. Nikolai comes in. Foster Apple gets the send from third. The throw comes home. It's high and in time. Dubovic over to third with the throw, but an aggressive send trying to score Foster Apple from first. Nonetheless, Wareham has a 3-0 lead after the RBI double from Dylan Dubovic.
A great piece of hitting from Dubovic, although that was not the best send in the world right there over at third base. The throw to the cutoff man, Casey Comiskey, was very much on time. He had a high throw in, but it still beat him to home plate. That's one where you want to force him to make a perfect throw to get the out at home. That did not need a perfect throw. Beat him there by a good amount.
4th straight game with an RBI for Dylan Dubovic. Really started to generate some offense at the plate for the Gatemen. He's over at third. First pitch to Tony Lira's cut on and missed. 0-1 on Lira, who struck out on 3 pitches his first time up. Try and double this lead in the 3rd inning for Wareham. The 0-1 takes inside, called a strike. And Lira now in danger of striking out twice on 6 pitches. Eccles kicks and deals outside, and an easy take from Lira that time. Eccles knew he had a pitch to waste. Now the count 1-2. Eccles has given up 6 hits so far. Trying to get through this 3rd inning of work. The 1-2 in the dirt. McDougal keeps it in front of him. Count evens at 2-2, so for Lira, you at least expect something a little bit closer here to avoid the count running full.
Looking for something competitive, swing at what you like.
2-2. Outside, count runs full. 2 gone in the bottom of the 3rd. Wareham leading Orleans 3-0. Dubovic off of third. Eccles nods. The payoff. Cranked. Deep left field. Myatt looks up. That ball is gone. A no-doubter from Tony Lira. After being down 0-2, he comes back and delivers a long ball. His first of the summer. It's a 2-run blast that breaks this game open. Wareham 5, Orleans 0.
What a shot right there from Tony Lira. Just blasted it. You knew the power has been in the bat all season long. Smacks it right there, sends it out of the park, and Eccles immediately out of this game. It was a rough outing for him.
And Nicholson, a quick walk out of the first base dugout to relieve the starter, Jake Eccles. Gave up 5 runs on 7 hits. His day is done after just 2 2/3. First call to the pen for the Firebirds. We will step aside. Wareham clobbering Orleans early on at Spillane.
Get your merch at the Wareham Gatemen website and click shop to view our latest merch drops. The 2026 Gatemen Kids Clinic registration is live and open. Starting next week, kids will have the chance to be taught by Gatemen coaches and players. For more information, visit the Wareham Gatemen website for dates, times, prices, and opportunities for your kids to have the most memorable week of their summer.
A blazing hot start for the Gatemen forces Orleans to go to their bullpen early. It's an Alyssa Watling intuitive pitching change. And Dan Shalam, they go to the lefty that the Gatemen are familiar with. It's DC Brown out of Rice.
So far this season, he's made 7 appearances. 2 of those have come against Wareham. He pitched in that game that the Gatemen lost in 9 innings, I should say. And then here at home, the one that was rained out. Previously appeared against Cotuit on July 10th, an inning and 2/3 of no hit, no run, 1 walk, 3 strikeout ball. For him, it's a 3-pitch mix of fastball, slider, and the changeup relies on the fastball primary usage at 70%, and the slider backs it up, rarely touches the changeup.
And needs just 1 out to get out of the 3rd inning. The bases are clear after the 2-run bomb from Tony Lira. The Wareham offense is clicking today, Dan.
Yeah, and it was a nightmare outing for the starter, Jake Eccles, who just never got into a groove, and Wareham pounced on him. Here in this inning, they did a great job. Nikolai and Apple set the table, 2 guys that didn't really have hard contact, but did enough to get on base, and then the hard hitters of Dubovic and Lira cleaning things up. They've done a really nice job this inning.
So the final line with no base runners aboard is complete for Jake Eccles. He starts, goes 2 2/3, allows 7 hits, 5 runs, all 5 earned, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Entered with a 5.73 ERA. He departs with a 7.9 flat. It'll be left on right. He faces Carter Groen to start his day. DC Brown's first pitch. This is down and in for ball 1. They were just super competitive at bats up and down the lineup for the Gatemen today. Even Tony Lira, and that was as good as it gets. Behind nothing in 2. Battles back, gets a pitch that he likes. Ends up making Jake Eccles pay. Wareham ran into 1 out this inning. So outside of the strikeout from Jason Wax, Gatemen have really only been retired once. The 6th hitter to the plate in this inning. 2-0. Looped out to right, hooking foul, and it's out of play. Can't ask for much of a better start if you're Wareham, Dan.
Not at all. I mean, 5 runs in the first 3 innings, carrying over the momentum from that Falmouth game.
2-1. And on the ground left side, Tyler Harmony goes to first. Makes a strong throw and hooks up with Bub Terrell for the 3rd out of the inning. But not before Wareham pads its lead to 5-0 after a long ball right there from Tony Lira. A 400-foot no-doubter. The Gatemen lead it 5-0 here at Spillane Field on Cape League TV.
Cranberry Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting financial success.
Top half of the fourth here in Wareham. We take a look at the line score. It's been all Gatemen in this game, 5-0. To start off, as we enter the top half of the fourth, an offense that's just been putting together good at-bats. 7 hits for them as well. That's the second most runs they've scored at home in the first 3, the other being in that game against Hyannis, where they controlled 6-0, ended up winning that game 7-4. Bub Terrell to start things off, the cleanup man, still going against Mark Brissy, the starter, who throws his first pitch outside to the backstop for ball 1.
And Dan, you focused on the offense, and rightfully so. 7 hits, 5 runs, well-deserved. But Mark Brissy firing zeros right now. The fastball looks really good. Now on his second trip through the order.
1-0 pitch in there for strike 1. We did see some activity in the Wareham bullpen in that bottom half of the third, but everyone who was up has now sat down. So Brissy's inning here going against the hard-hitting Bub Terrell. 1-1. This is down low. That was a long sit for Brissy in that bottom half of the third. Was probably on the bench for 10 to 15 minutes there. See if that affects him.
And coming off his quickest inning of the day, he's gotten better as this game has progressed. Went 1-2-3 in the third.
2-1, a big cut and a miss from Terrell.
And needed just 10 pitches to retire the side in the third. So, you know, you're not expecting him to go 10 pitches again, but still, it at least slows down that process of Ryan Smythe wanting to pull his starter.
He still hasn't surrendered a hit. It's been working really well. Delivers the 2-2. Terrell chops it over to Lira at first, who gloves, takes it to the bag. First baseman to first baseman for the first out of this fourth.
Good start to the inning for Mark Brissy. Not an easy out to get. Probably, when you look at the minimum for Orleans, that was the toughest. So, good start for him. Went primarily fastball, but saw him mix in a sinker once in that at-bat. So now sends down Bub Terrell. Can try and attack Garrett Larson.
Larson out in right field today, was originally in left before a couple of lineup tweaks before the day started. First pitch from Brissy catches the outside part of the plate for strike 1. Larson grounded out over to second back in the first to end off the first inning, that being against Brissy. The 0-1 pitch, big cut and a miss down low. No balls, 2 strikes, and Brissy cruising here in the top half of the fourth, looking to put up another 0 on these Firebirds, who still have not mustered a hit in the ball game. Oh, 2. Runs in off the glove of Nicolai to the backstop, 1-2. Larson, the guy who went 1 for 3 against Chatham with an RBI and a walk. That RBI made it 4-2 Orleans in the top half of the 8th. That proved to be a big run as the Firebirds went on to win that game. 5-4. Brissy hunting him, though, here. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count. The pitch. Cut on and missed for strike 3. Larson goes fishing. That's the 5th strikeout for Mark Brissy, and there's 2 down.
Really good. 9 pitches to get his first 2 outs of this inning. And we said that it wouldn't be likely that he gets another 10-pitch inning. Still isn't, but
who knows?
Exactly, and still a really good start for Brissy.
He's looked sharp.
Challenging. It just continues to challenge these Orleans hitters.
For sure. Jonathan Gomez at the plate. The DH. First pitch is in there for strike 1. The last time Wareham faced Orleans at Spillane, the Firebirds were the ones that had a no-hitter until the bottom half of the 6th when Jason Waxon an RBI single. Now the thing's going the other way around. 0-1 misses downstairs. 1-ball, 1 strike. That was also a game in which Orleans led 6-0 before Wareham put runs on the board in that bottom half of the 6th before the game was called in the bottom half of the 7th. 1-1 pitch. Runs in and hits Gomez. That being the second hitter in this game that Brissy has plunked, and Orleans has a base runner with 2 outs.
Yeah, not just that, but Brissy hasn't allowed a hit. 2 hit by pitches, 2 walks. It's all self-inflicted wounds for Mark Brissy. But now the objective is work around it, continue to challenge against Ryan McDougal.
Going against the catcher who had one of those walks back in the 2nd inning. Brissy set. Comes home. Misses high and away for ball 1. Orleans looking for some offensive momentum after going down 1-2-3 in that 3rd, and Brissy retired the first 2 in this inning before that hit by pitch. 1-0. Flared to the left side. That ball drops in front of Groen. And there is the first hit of the ball game for the Firebirds. Runners now at 1st and 2nd with 2 outs.
Yeah, that's okay. If you're Mark Brissy, I think you're more than okay giving that one up. Now, the issue is that you gave up the first base runner to Gomez when you hit him earlier in this inning. So now Orleans, with another threat, they put 2 on in the 1st inning. Just try and work around it if you're Brissy. But that right there is why some of those self-inflicted mistakes can come back to bite you. Now the goal is don't let them.
And that breaks an 0-for-14 streak for McDougal. So that a big one for him. Now Ty Harmony at the plate. First pitch misses upstairs for ball 1. And you could see McDougal go over to the Orleans dugout after that hit. Smiles on his face. Always feels good to break a streak no matter what way you do it. And Brissy trying to work out of trouble. Orleans first runner in scoring position since the 1st. 1-0. Misses outside, and this is where Brissy has gotten into trouble, losing his control, but he has not been punished for it yet when he's gotten behind in counts. Looking to bounce back here. 2 balls, no strikes. Brissy readies. Fires. Misses, or I should say, called strike. Bottom half of the zone. 2-1.
Late arriving call from Will Bowers.
Should have waited for it there, but
keeping you on your toes.
It's better that way. That one did catch the bottom rail. Brissy steps off. 2 balls, 1 strike. As Will Bowers, making some motions behind the plate, steps back behind McDougal, or behind Nicolai, I should say. McDougal over at first with Magpok at 2nd. Here's the pitch. Cut on and missed for strike 2. Harmony now has to battle 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 runners on and 2 outs here in the top half of the 4th. Orleans trying to scratch across its first run of this ball game. Brissy looking for 4 scoreless to start off his day. Winds and fires. Cut on and missed for strike 3. 6th strikeout of the day for Mark Brissy comes in a big spot. He allows his first hit of the ball game here in the top half of the 4th, but nothing comes of it. Strands 2. After 3.5 here at Spillane Field, it's 5-0 in favor of the Gatemen.
Every child deserves the basics. Gifts to Give is making that happen, and you can help. Volunteer, donate, or shop their thrift store Saturdays. Visit giftstogive.org and make a difference today.
The Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and a recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 172 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
If you or a family member have been hurt at work, don't wait for the insurance company to discontinue your benefits or deny you medical treatment. Get an experienced workers' compensation attorney now before it's too late. The lawyers at Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP have been practicing workers' compensation law for many years and are experts in the field of workers' compensation law. Having the advantage of retaining an attorney early on may make all the difference in your case.
Know your rights, be prepared, and contact Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP also have offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkmlaw.com.
Bottom half of the fourth here at Spillane Field. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky in a 5-0 game in favor of the Gatemen, who are looking to string together back-to-back wins for the first time this season here in game number 25 of the year. 9-1-2 for Wareham to start things off. It'll be Henry DeGiorgio, R.J. Hamilton, and Connor Cuff. As we see some of the All-Stars, one coming to the plate in this inning, R.J. Hamilton, and Mark Brissy, of course, the starter tonight, who has gone 4 innings strong. Those 4 will play at the All-Star game over in Harwich on Sunday. Cohen Nicolai will participate in the Home Run Derby.
It certainly feels like all the guys on this Gatemen team that got the nod, they're playing the part, aren't they today, Dan? Nicolai, a 2-hit day. R.J. Hamilton has reached base in both of his times. Brissy, 4 scoreless. His day probably done. So he did his job. Some arms continue to loosen for the Gatemen out in the bullpen. But if you're the All-Star Selection Committee and you're watching this game right now, at least for the Wareham side, you certainly like what you've done there.
Yeah, without a doubt. 1-1. Cut on and missed from DeGiorgio. And obviously, Cohen Nicolai, one of the guys participating in the Home Run Derby, going against another player here tonight in Bub Terrell, who's over at first. We'll see who can whack the most long balls. Terrell had one last night, or I should say 2 days ago, with Wareham being the only team in action yesterday. 1-2 is just nubbed up the middle, and it drops for Henry DeGiorgio. That's been something that he's done really well at the bottom of the order. It hasn't been the flashiest, but he has managed to get on base now in 5 straight games with a hit, and Wareham has the leadoff runner on.
Yeah, you got to love it. And for Wareham, getting production from the bottom half of the lineup hasn't been a strength. And Henry DeGiorgio consistently hitting there in that 8th or 9th spot, depending on the matchup that Ryan Smythe likes with a righty or a lefty pitcher rather. And DeGiorgio, 9th today, already with a hit.
Now R.J. Hamilton going against D.C. Brown for the first time, takes a first pitch strike. Brown came into this game with 2 outs in the bottom half of the third after Tony Lero launched his first home run of the season to make it 5-0. So this is first clean inning to work with. Brown will go over to first base. Take a look at DeGiorgio, who's back in plenty of time.
You understand why. Brown with the leg up as the left-handed pitcher. To make sure DeGiorgio stays put.
Hamilton started off the game offensively with a double, came around to score, walked back in the second. And another throw over to Terrell at first. DeGiorgio still at the bag. Hamilton stepping back into the box. Here's the 0-1. Big cut and a miss from Hamilton. No balls and 2 strikes on the man from Duke, who has really been hot lately for Wareham. There's a reason he's an all-star selection. Hits in 11 of the last 12. Second double of the season coming tonight. The home run coming against Falmouth. His second of the season. He's really put it all together. D.C. Brown keeping a close eye over there on DeGiorgio at first, as the throw back from Terrell skipped over to Ty Harmony at third base. But DeGiorgio doesn't go anywhere. He has 3 stolen bases so far in the season.
I think if you're going to make an errant throw and take another base, if you're DeGiorgio, it's got to be a little bit more off target than that.
DeGiorgio goes here. The 0-2 was way outside from Brown. So DeGiorgio gets in there safely. That seemed like for a second it could have been a pitch out, but it was out of the outstretched glove of McDougal.
That's not great. If you're a pitcher and the broadcaster saying it could have been a pitch out.
That was that far high and away.
If it was a good one. Just not on the same page with McDougal.
Runner in scoring position for Wareham as Hamilton swings and misses at the 1-2 for the first strikeout of DC Brown's outing, and there's one down.
Nice job from DC Brown getting ahead in the count early, knowing that you have a pitch to waste, and then that time Hamilton trying to protect, and a 2-strike count just comes up empty.
So that does go down as a stolen base for DeGiorgio, now his 4th of the season. Connor Cuff, the third baseman at the plate, with the shortstop over at second. First pitch, big cut and a miss from Cuff for strike one, who had the RBI single back in the first, grounded out over to short to end off the second inning. That was RBI number 3 for him in what is just his 5th game of the season. 0-1. Breaker comes inside. Cuff holds back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wareham has had a runner into scoring position in every single inning to start off this game. The offense has been humming. The 1-1 is missed there from Cuff.
And if you're Wareham, don't take your foot off the gas. The last 2 at-bats, right now with Cuff and the one prior with Hamilton, I know it's a new pitcher, but they're swinging at stuff that they didn't really swing at. Need to keep that mental focus for all 9 innings.
Browns 1-2. Fly ball into right field. Larson going back. He makes the play. Couple of steps from the wall. Going over to third is DeGiorgio. 2 down off a long fly out from Connor Cuff.
He gave it a ride, didn't he? Sent Larson way back. And the wind kind of blowing out to left. Kept it going just a little bit more. Keep going. But instead, Larson gets a little bit of room to make the catch. Now up to Cohen Nicolai. Already a 2-hit day to try and extend this Wareham lead.
The Gatemen looking to make it 6-0. Scored 2 runs in the first, 3 in the third. And looking for 1 here in the fourth. First pitch from Brown to Nicolai right down the middle. 4 strike 1. Since Brown let off the leadoff single, back-to-back outs for him. Has retired 3 of the first 4 hitters he's faced in this outing. Quickly comes set on the bump. Delivers the 0-1. It's bounced in the dirt, stays in front of McDougal. 1 ball, 1 strike on Nicolai, who's had 2 singles today, something that we haven't been able to say for him in a long time. Has had the doubles and the home run power as of late, but hadn't had a single in over 2 weeks' time. Up in the batting average here today. Also has a stolen base. Been a complete performance. 1-1. Big cut from Nicolai. He misses. And the count's 1-2.
Certainly changing your approach right now if you're Nicolai. 2 strikes, trying to protect. 2 outs. It's not one where you're just trying to lift a ball deep into the outfield. Still trying to find grass.
Brown looking for a 0. The 1-2 pitch runs inside. Do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wareham also up to 8 hits on the day. The 8th coming here in this inning. 4 in the third. 3 in the first. Brown set on the bump and comes home. Clyde stays alive, fouls it back to the screen. That being pitch number 21 for DC Brown in what has just been an inning of work. Looking to go an inning and a third scoreless. Here's the 2-2. Bounced. McDougal keeps in front of him. Nicolai with some good plate discipline here. He's seen a couple of balls that have been the breaker in the dirt, has laid off of it both times. Looking to find his way aboard here with a full count and DeGiorgio over at third. Payoff. Crushed into center field. Kelly going back, takes a look. That ball 2 hops off the wall. Coming into scores DeGiorgio. Nicolai over to second. on a 2-out RBI double that makes the game 6-0.
Great piece of hitting from Cohen Nicolai. If you remember, he was behind 1-2 earlier. Tony Lira was behind 0-2 when he had his home run. That time Nicolai with a wood bat takes it to the deepest part of the park. And 2 hops. Really nice job from the catcher. What a day from him.
3 for 3. That RBI number 15, which leads this Wareham squad, as Jason Wax at the plate takes a first pitch strike. And that also being double number 2 on the season for Nicolai. He has been so stellar. In this game for Wareham, a big reason why they're up 6-0. A 1 pitch to Wax. Misses down low for ball 1. Third double of the game as well for Wareham. And you see it there, 5 for 11 in scoring position. They have been driving runners home tonight. Have really been putting it on. 1-1 pitch. Cut on and missed by Wax. The count's 1-2.
And right now, Wax, one of the few hitters in this Wareham lineup that hasn't really been a part of its dominant showing. Trying to join the club now.
He's the only one that has not reached base today. 1-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So DC Brown limits the damage on his second strikeout of the day. But still, 1 run here in this bottom half of the 4th makes it 6-0 in favor of the Gatemen. Time to talk to our sideline reporter, CeCe Gabriel, for the first time here tonight. CeCe, what do you have?
Thanks, guys. MLB and CCBL teams get loads of excitement this week with both leagues having all-star games. Meanwhile, spectators within the Banana Ball Championship League get heated plays all summer long, and Gatemen for the league. And the application for the exhibition league was more than just BP and fielding plays. It was dancing, it was singing, it was a bunch of trick plays as well. Now his talents got him to one of the 4,000 to be able to get an interview, and from there he was able to enter the draft that consisted of 1,000 players. Now Ewing may have never been able to actually make it into the BBCL, but he told me that he takes a lot of the models that are there and applies them to his own life. Ewing said that he's always had fun playing baseball, and being a Wareham Kids Camp director was the perfect fit for him because he wanted to make an impact on these kids. Is that baseball is a kids game. Picture what the kids clinic, the kids in the clinic do every morning, and have fun and do it for yourself. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, CeCe. Always fun to talk some banana ball, and especially with a third base coach, Nate Ewing, who's plenty talented. New pitcher onto the bump first. Alyssa, intuitive call to the bullpen here today for Wareham. It's Micah Takis. He comes in looking to keep what was a great start for Mark Brissy going.
A 6'3", 170-pound righty making his debut with the Gatemen this summer. Last pitch with North Greenville this past spring. Had a 2-0 record. Pitched to a 5.2 ERA across 27 2/3. Gave up 32 hits. Had quite a good strikeout to walk ratio. Just 9 walks in those 27 2/3 and 28 strikeouts to go along with it, Dan. Now trying to keep Wareham in front, and he's pitching with plenty of run support.
You mentioned it, 6 runs for the Wareham offense, but how about Mark Brissy? His final line of 4 innings of a 1-hit ball, no runs, of course, and he also leaves the game with 6 strikeouts. It was dominant, Adam.
Yes, it was, and the fastball is really working for him right now. He's got a couple of secondary pitches, but in his last 2 outings, he's trusted the fastball. And it's not just his primary pitch because he can throw it for a strike and throw it for a strike consistently, but it can overpower hitters. And he had similar success with it against Chatham in his last start, and today against Orleans. He did the exact same thing, and he was spectacular, certainly looking like a Cape League All-Star.
Leaves the game with 2 walks as well. And for Brissy, it's just success that has really continued for him. 5+ strikeouts for him in 3 straight outings. He has been on it. Now, though, Takis takes the ball going against the 9-1-2 hitters here for Orleans. Casey Comiskey, Rowan Kelly, and Adam Magpok coming to the plate. Still in search of their first run of the game. First pitch from Takis, lined up the middle for a base hit. Comiskey singles first, leadoff hitter aboard in this game for Orleans in the 5th.
And obviously you don't want to surrender a hit early on in your first outing of the summer, and definitely not to the 9th hitting shortstop Comiskey, but still plenty of time to work around it. Brissy gave up a couple of walks, hit by pitches. Orleans had a couple of base runners in 2 innings, but still time to work around it.
Rowan Kelly at the plate. First pitch to him is the breaker in there. 4-strike-1 comes in at 72 miles an hour. This is a similar spot that Wareham found themselves in a couple of days ago against Hyannis. Led that game 6-0 entering the 5th. Before that game became 6-3. The 0-1 fouled out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. Obviously looking for a different result here. You do not want to let up 3 runs at any point in the ball game. But we'll see how Takis fares against the heart of this Orleans order coming up. Currently trying to get the leadoff man, Rowan Kelly, out. 0-2. Just chopped foul, and it caught a piece of Nikolai. He is in pain. It caught his throwing hand, and he shakes it off behind the plate. Ryan Smythe out of the dugout to talk it over with him, but some pain there. As you can see, the ball caught him off of the bat of Kelly.
Yeah, and that's never one that you want to give up in that situation. Nikolai's had a really good day at the plate. Defensively, hasn't been tested today, but we'll see how this potentially impacts his swing. Won't be due up for a while, but still, for a guy that is seeing the ball really well lately, you don't want to see anything that could alter his performance.
Of course not. 3 for 3 today. Just had the RBI double in the bottom of the 4th. 0-2, shot out of play on the third base side by Kelly, who's 0 for 2 in this game, was 0 for 4 against Chatham, so riding an 0 for 6 streak, but the game before that was 3 for 4 against the YD Red Sox with a double, 2 runs scored, a walk, and a stolen base. So someone that Orleans definitely wants at the top of the order. Looking to battle here against Takis. The pitch. Hit over to the right side and through. Gets past the glove of Lira. Hitting second and going over to third is Comiskey. There will be no throw over there. And Orleans threatening for their first run of the ball game. Runners at the corners with nobody out.
That was a nice piece of hitting from Rowan Kelly. And a 2-strike count after Takis was pounding the zone, fouling off a couple of pitches, staying alive, was still behind in the count, but found a pitch that he could turn on. Delivers a single. Already surpassed what Brissy's hit total was across 4 innings.
Now Adam Magpok, the speedster, and this seems like a tailor-made bunt scenario with no one out. We'll see if he lays one down. First pitch misses down low from Takis, who has struggled to find the zone, and when he has gone into the zone, has been hit around a little bit. Looking to bounce back. Magpok walked in the first, grounded out back to the pitcher Brissy in the third. 1-0 is looped over the head of the shortstop DeGiorgio. Coming in to score is Comiskey. Moving up to second is Kelly. There's the first run of the day. Comes off an RBI single from Adam Magpok, and it's 6-1.
And this is when it starts to become a little bit concerning for Takis. You obviously want to continue to go inside the zone, but that time Magpok just digs it out. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a mound visit from Eric Luxus sooner rather than later, as Bryce Turner is up and throwing now for the Gatemen.
Bryce Turner has been the guy to come in and just put out fires really this season for Wareham. See if he gets the ball. But first, Tyler Myatt at the plate. Takes a first pitch ball down in the dirt. This is the first time that the Orleans offense has come alive. They've strung together 3 straight singles to start off this 5th. They've been awarded with a run already and certainly looking to tack on more. 1-0. This is outside, and Takis is struggling to locate the zone now. 2 balls and no strikes. Mejia, an all-star for right reason, has played in every game so far this season for Orleans with .295 batting average. Looking to come up clutch here and drive in a run. He's got 9 RBIs on the season. 2-0. Cut and a miss for strike 1. Takis working back. Mejia, the fly out into left in the first, struck out back in the third. As we see Bryce Turner starting to warm up. Here's the pitch. Another swing and a miss there from Mejia. Takis has done a nice job of working himself back into the count, has thrown all 4 pitches low and outside. See if he goes back to this spot here. With Kelly at second and Magpok at first. 1 run across for Orleans already. Here in the top half of the 5th. 2-2 pitch. Misses in the right-handed batter's box. And the count goes full. Not a walk you want to issue here. The hard-hitting Bub Terrell waits on deck.
Absolutely, and this is where Orleans has consistently done its damage. If you're Wareham, you're lucky that Dom Cadiz isn't slotted in there as well.
100%. The payoff pitch. He checked his swing for a second, but it's called. Strike 3 as Mejia slams the bat to the ground in frustration. There's the first out for Micah Takis, and it comes in a big spot.
That's massive for Takis because Myatt's one of the most dangerous hitters in this lineup, but today hasn't been at his best. Had a check swing in the third that he got rung up on, and that time wanted to swing it but holds it. Gets rung up again.
Now Bub Terrell, runners at first and second with 1 down. First pitch. Misses down in the dirt. That's a spot that Takis has worked a lot so far in this outing. He's like to be low in the zone. Obviously, Terrell with plenty of power, like tower power for that matter. A home run derby participant with 3 bombs already this season. Has 11 RBIs as well. Was trying to unload on one there. Swings and misses at the 1-0. Smiles as he steps out of the box. Recenters himself. Talking to his fellow derby competitor, Cohen Nikolai, who's behind the plate. One pitch. Down in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike. Obviously, Takis pitching around Terrell a little bit. Doesn't want to leave anything elevated that he could get some good wood on. Still 1 run across for Orleans here in the 5th. Looking to get themselves back into this game. Takis delivers. Terrell swings and misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Now, this is big, and you don't want to load the bases, but you also really want to pitch around Bub Terrell. Even if it means working the count full, I don't think you want to give him anything in the zone.
See what Takis has in his arsenal here. A big pitch. The 2-2. Misses. Down low, and the count goes full. Terrell, 6 for 21 with runners in scoring position this season. Obviously, that applicable to Rowan Kelly over there at first. At second, Adam Magpok at first. A full count with 1 down. The payoff. Grounded over to the second baseman, Hamilton. He goes to second for 1. On to first in time. That's one way to get out of the jam against the hardest hitter in this Orleans lineup. A nice 4-6-3 double play to end off the inning. But still, Orleans scratches across 1, makes this a 5-run ball game as we go to the bottom half of the 5th here on Cape League TV.
Hey, Gatemen fans, give it up for a hometown MVP, Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen cleanup on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean every day. Big hits, clean streets, and reliable service you can count on. Now that's a winning team. Visit elharveynewbedford.com or call 508-995-0544. Harvey New Bedford, keeping Wareham game ready all season long.
Searching for a golf cart, street legal low-speed vehicle, or utility vehicle? Come visit C2 Vehicles in Wareham or online at c2vehicles.com. Trusted across the South Coast, Cape and Island since 1978, C2 Vehicles has the ride for work, play, and everything in between. Broken PS5 or Xbox? A Plus Repair specializes in all repairs, including game consoles, computers, smartphones, and tablets. Walk-ins are welcome, and most repairs are done in less than an hour. 508-962-2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installation, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention and rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
We take a look at the run scored for Orleans in that top half of the fifth. Adam, it seemed like a big inning was brewing for them. 3 straight singles, but then the reliever Micah Takis works out of it.
The defense has been great today for Wareham. Shuts the door. Takis gets a ground ball. 4-6-3. Gatemen spin it.
DC Brown still on, facing Foster Apple to start off things here in the bottom half of the fifth. First pitch is high and away. It is 5-6-7 due up for Wareham in this inning. Apple had a single back in the third, but was tagged out at home in that third trying to score. 1-0 down in the dirt, ball 2, and that was on the RBI double from Dylan Dubovic out into left field. That kicked off the wall, but a nice relay from Orleans stopped the 7th run in this game from coming home. 2-0. Fouled back. 2 balls and 1 strike.
And it'll be interesting to see how the approach changes for this Gatemen team against DC Brown. Had a little bit of success, mostly Cohen Nicolai. But DC Brown has done a much better job stabilizing this Orleans staff after the start from Jake Eccles.
2-1. Popped out of play.
You can keep that foul ball, courtesy of attorney.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
His daughter Titus and his grandsons Chase and Wyatt.
Apple into the box. Brown kicks and fires. High and away. And the count goes full. Orleans, 3 hits in that fifth. Pushes their team total to 4 at just 1 up to that point. Only 1 off the starter, Mark Brissy. Payoff. Cut and a miss from Apple. He's down on strikes. It's the 3rd K for DC Brown in just an inning and 2/3 of relief. And there's 1 down.
He's had some really good stuff for Orleans right now. We're only halfway through this ball game. And if DC Brown continues to mow down this Gatemen lineup like he has been for the most part, to kind of changed Wareham bullpen. It's been run down over the last couple days.
First pitch here to Dylan Dubovic, fouled back to the screen. We saw Bryce Turner starting to warm up. He's kind of been a firefighter, a guy that comes into sticky situations and puts out the flame. But it didn't get too tight there to the point where Eric Luxus wanted to go to the bullpen. But we'll see if it's like a Takis or Turner, maybe someone else to start off the 6th. But still 2 outs to go here in the bottom half of the 5th. The 0-1 to Dubovic, called a strike at the knees. He had the RBI double. That brought in a run. That was Cohen Nicolai, nearly 2 with Foster Apple. But looking to bounce back after back-to-back pitches where he's fallen behind. Brown fires. Non-competitive pitch outside. 4-1. Dubovic now, this is 4th game in a row where he's had at least a hit and an RBI. So he has really been stringing it together well as of late for the Gatemen. Brown set on the rubber and fires another breaker outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Still a long way to go here at Spillane Field, like Adam mentioned. But Wareham steadily in control as of right now. Put up runs in every single inning but the second. 2-2. Cut on and missed from Dylan Dubovic, and that's back-to-back-to-back strikeouts now for DC Brown.
He's rolling, isn't he? Left-hander coming in, and he has stifled this Wareham lineup. Up and down, mixing and matching his pitches.
Tony Lira at the plate. The last time he was up there, launched the long 2-run home run. Came in at 401 feet, his first bomb of the season. Swings at the first pitch here from Brown, makes it 0-1. And Lira was on the cusp of going down on strikes. He was down 0-2 in that at-bat before he worked all the way back and launched the home run. And was actually on the verge of 2 strikeouts and 6 pitches as he went down on 3 in the second. And what was his first plate appearance of the game? Brown gets himself set and delivers. Swung on and missed. No balls and 2 strikes on Lira. Same spot he was in the last at-bat, ended up in a home run.
Got a little bit of a different arm that he's facing. Last guy that the starter Eccles faced, and the last guy that DC Brown has yet to face.
The 0-2 misses down in the dirt. 4-1. So Lira was really the guy that knocked the starter Jake Eccles out of the game. He pitched 2 2/3, 7 hits with 5 earned runs. A stark difference to that of Wareham starter Mark Brissy, who pitched 4 innings of a 1-hit, no-run ball. 1-2 offering. Popped up on the right side. Terrell dashing over. The right fielder Larson, though, fields it in foul territory for the 3rd out. The first 1-2-3 inning of the game for Orleans comes here in the bottom half of the 5th. And time to go back to our sideline reporter, CeCe Gabriel.
Yeah, go. Keep space.
CeCe, we'll get to you at some point. Missed you on the first try, missed you again there. Maybe the 3rd time is the charm. We're just going to have to wait and see. But I do want to hear CeCe's story about Nate Ewing, the third base coach who's trying out for the Savannah Bananas, has been involved with their organization a little bit, but we're just going to have to wait for that one.
If anything, it gives you more of a reason to stay tuned to this broadcast.
I agree. Now, Savannah Banana Baseball, how do you think you would fare out there doing some tricks?
Poorly. We talked about it earlier this summer with the Mattapoisett Road Race. I would feel less confident about my ability where I would stack up amongst like the general population in a 4-mile race as opposed to banana baseball. No confidence whatsoever.
Do you have a certain dance move you think you could pull off? Do you have a dance move in general?
No.
Neither do I, really. Maybe a little a flick, but the flick doesn't really do much in the grand scheme of entertaining everyone.
I'll shimmy from time to time. I know Wareham trying to shimmy to back-to-back wins. Dan.
You speak of shimmying, they've made a shimmy to the bullpen here in the top half of the 6th. Alyssa Watling intuitive call to the bullpen. Mike Atakis is out of the game after he tossed an inning of 3-hit, 1-run ball, struck out 1. It is Bryce Turner onto the bump, the guy that was warming in that top half of the 5th if things got bad for Takis.
A little bit of an interesting spot for Bryce Turner as we've hit the top of the 6th. Out to the back half of this game. Hoping to get some length out of Bryce Turner, although each of his 2 appearances this summer have been just 1 inning flat apiece. In his 3rd outing of the summer, he's pitched to a 4.5 ERA. He's given up 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned. 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. He last threw, Dan, 6 days ago against YD. Went 1 inning, gave up 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned, and 1 walk. Tossed 20 pitches, 11 for strikes.
Trying to shut down this Orleans order that finally got some offensive momentum back in the top half of the 5th. Strung together 3 straight singles to start off the inning before a strikeout, and then a 6-4-3 double play that Bub Terrell grounded into. And it'll be Garrett Larson, Jonathan Gomez, and Ryan McDougall, the 3 to swing it here for Orleans in the 6th as they look to just keep chipping away at this lead. Larson steps into the box with Turner ready to go for his first outing in 6 days' time. First pitch, cut and a miss for strike 1. Brissy started the outing today for Wareham with 4 innings of 1 hit, no run balls, 6 strikeouts. Takis goes an inning with 3 hits and 1 run. Turner looking to provide some more stability. His 0-1 is swung at and missed by Larson. Quickly down 0-2 on 2 quick fastballs from the tall righty. Definitely a different release point and different stuff than Takis, who is mostly pitching from a quarter arm slot at the bottom of the zone. 0-2. Misses outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, get ahead of guys if you're Bryce Turner, because for a large part, Orleans hasn't really made the Gatemen pay. 3 of their 4 hits came against Takis. You want to find a similar groove that Brissy had through the first 4 innings.
1-2. Fought off to the right side. Going to be a tough play and foul ground. It drops there. Do it again at 1-2.
Keep going if you're Turner. Plenty of fastballs. It's been what's worked for him so far this summer. And doesn't have the velocity that Brissy has, but can certainly have similar success.
Searching for the first out here against Larson, who's 0 for 2 today with the strikeout. In his last plate appearance, Turner fires the 1-2, and Larson stays alive once again. Five pitches here in this at-bat. 6 coming up. Turner sets and fires. And once again, Larson stays alive. He's fouled off 3 straight pitches after going down 0-2 to start the AB. It's been good stuff from him. He's putting up a fight. Looking to compete. Once again. Here's the pitch. Just misses on the outside part of the plate. 2-2.
Clyde was ready to throw down to third, wasn't he? He thought it was strike 3 all day. It's right there, right on the corner.
2-2. A half-hearted swing for strike 3. Turner gets a Larson on strikes to start off his outing. 1 down.
Look at that. Could have rang up Larson on the pitch prior. Didn't get the call, but continues to battle. And that time gets a swing from Larson, who has not looked good today.
Certainly not. 0 for 3. Now Jonathan Gomez at the plate. First pitch to him misses down low. Still a long at-bat, though, and a long fight from Larson there, as Turner had to toss 8 pitches for the first out. Looking to be a little bit more efficient here against Gomez. 1-0 down in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes. Gomez riding a little bit of a hot streak, back-to-back games where he's had a hit. And the first one was a pinch hit RBI walk-off on the YD Red Sox at Eldridge Park, which kicked off this little 2-game winning streak for Orleans. The 2-0 is shot up a mile high into left field. Groen coming in. He makes the play. on the run for the second out.
He hasn't made it look easy today, has he? A couple of putouts. Both times, it was not a straight path.
No, but ended up in his glove both times, so an out's an out.
Just gives the fans a little bit of a wavy heart rate, I guess.
Keeps you entertained.
True.
Talk about banana ball. There you go. McDougal now at the plate, takes the first pitch outside for ball one. McDougal has been a bright spot for Orleans today, has reached in both plate appearances, walked in the second, singled back in the fourth. That was the first hit of the game for the Firebirds as well. 1-0, chopped over to DeGiorgio, and it kicks off of his glove into center field. That's the first time we've seen an error from Henry DeGiorgio in a fair while. And there's a runner on with 2 outs.
That's right. It was hit hard, but right there. Just kicks off the back half of his glove. That's a tough one for DeGiorgio and extends an inning. Maybe a little bit of frustration from Bryce Turner, who left a pitch in a spot that he didn't want to.
Now Ty Harmony at the plate with McDougal over at first. His first pitch runs inside. So that officially scored as an E6. First error of the ball game on the Wareham side of things. Orleans had one earlier in the game on an overthrow from Adam Magpok. 1-0. Shot out of play behind the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Orleans, despite trailing this game, has had a runner in every single inning but one. They've also left at least a runner on in every inning but one. The only inning where they failed to do both was the third, where they went down 1-2-3. 1-1. Misses outside for ball 2. And in 3 of those innings, they've left 2 runners on base. So they've had their chances, and they've been plenty close. The situational hitting, though, has not been there so far to start this game. But there obviously is still time. We're only in the top half of the 6th. 2-1 pitch. Misses high and away. And now a 3 ball, 1 strike count with Casey Comiskey, the shortstop, waiting on deck, who singled to start off the 5th, came around to score as the only run for the Firebirds. 3-1 offering, high and away, an easy take. A 5-pitch walk to Ty Harmony, and now runners at first and second with 2 outs.
And earlier today, saw with Mark Brissy after having a couple of walks and then a bloop single. For Bryce Turner, it's kind of the same thing. An error, obviously that one goes against his defense, but then 5-pitch walk. Now the task is just pitch around him. Continue to realize that you're still facing the bottom of this Orleans lineup for one more hitter. You've got 2 outs. You've got a force at first, second, or third. Haven't allowed a ton of hard contact, so still stay true to your approach. Got a 5-run lead.
The interesting thing about Bryce Turner is that in both the outings he's had, he has issued a walk. He gets himself into trouble sometimes before he works out of it. And this one, obviously, he didn't start off with the walk. It was the error on DeGiorgio, but then issues the free pass to Ty Harmony, who reaches for the first time in this game previously, had back-to-back strikeouts. Now Casey Comiskey, the shortstop from the right-handed side, looking to keep this little 2-out rally going for the Firebirds. Turner ready after the mound visit. Here's the first pitch. Fouled back to the screen from Comiskey. Liked what he saw, was on it. But timing wasn't fully there. No balls, 1 strike. McDougal over at second, Harmony at first. Turner got the first 2 outs. Here in the 6th. 0-1. Shot foul once again. Comiskey looks to the sky. Another pitch that he liked on the outside part of the plate. But now Turner just 1 pitch away from putting up another 0 for the Gatemen. Trying to strand 2 runners on for a 3rd straight inning. Orleans has been knocking on the door, but hasn't opened it. 0-2. Over to the third base side. It hits off the glove of Cuff. Hitting third and getting the wave is McDougal. There will be no throw home because nobody was there and left. Moving over to third on the play is Harmony. A couple of bad plays from this Wareham defense, and it's 6-2.
Bryce Turner. It's got to be a little bit of frustration right now. 2 balls that haven't, at least weren't supposed to leave the infield. Even if you're cuff and you can't make the play to first or second, you at least want to knock it down and just keep it on the infield. That time it kicks up into left. Groen had a long run to come in on it. And Orleans cuts the deficit to 4.
Back-to-back innings with the run for the Firebirds, and now it's the top of the order with Rowan Kelly looking to add on more. First pitch is in the dirt from Turner. There is an arm starting to get going out there in the bullpen for the Gatemen. Obviously, Eric Luxus and company not wanting to have to go there in this inning. Turner just needs 1 out. 1-0. Runs inside. That was a non-competitive pitch right there.
And if Henry DeGiorgio makes that last play, talking about Bryce Turner getting out of this inning in 12 pitches. Instead, the first error and then another error. Now you're past 20, approaching 25.
2-0. Chopped over to DeGiorgio. A chance at redemption. He gloves it, flips over to Hamilton at second. And that's how the inning ends. 1 run comes in for Orleans unearned after no hits and 2 errors from the Gatemen defense. And the Firebirds once again strand 2 here in the 6th. But it becomes a 4-run ball game. Stay with us right here on Cape League TV.
Hey, it's me, Wizzy. Water Whiz is the ultimate vacation. Huge slides, a not-so-lazy river, and more ways to cool off than you can count. Plan ahead and save. Tickets as low as $39.95. Rally your crew and lock in your date.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Avenue in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Hi, this is Stephen Goulston. Homeowners choose Mario's Roofing because we're fair, honest, and provide quality services. Call Mario's Roofing today for a free estimate. 781-344-2420. Mario's Roofing. We won't soak you to keep you warm and dry.
We've hit the bottom half of the 6th here in Wareham. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky. A 6-2 ball game. And an Alyssa Watling intuitive call to the bullpen. Here for Orleans, it'll be the lefty coming onto the mound, Luca Alagaband, trying to keep this at just a 4-run game.
The left-hander out of Harvard tossed 45 2/3. The Crimson, a 3-pitch mix, but it's a low usage of the changeup, Dan, so it's really just fastball and slider for the lefty. And earlier, D.C. Brown had a ton of success as a left-hander, and now tries to do the same.
You see it there, some Gatemen getting drafted over the last couple of days. Garrett Lambert drafted to the Rockies as Alagaban looks to keep this a 4-run ball game. But Adam, that the draft, a lot of Gatemen getting called up, and some in the All-Star game tonight in Philadelphia. Paul Skeens, Kyle Schwarber, the notables that have played for Wareham that get to feature in the All-Star game. These Gatemen that got drafted and signed, hoping to one day be there.
And what's the motto of the Cape League? Future of tomorrow shines bright. So, yeah, like right now, you've got guys that you can certainly see in that position down the road, and very cool to see 2 former Gatemen that continue to make their mark in the majors.
Carter Groen to go against Alagaban to start off things here in the bottom half of the 6th. He misses outside for ball 1. Alagaban pitched against Chatham, just a third of an inning thrown with a hit, 2 earned runs given up. And his past 2 outings have only been a third of an inning. So see how far he goes here. Gets a swing and a miss from Groen. Makes it 1 ball and 1 strike. It is 2 unanswered runs on the board for Orleans after Wareham started this game by scoring 6 in a row, and a lot of self-inflicted wounds for the Gatemen in that top half of the 6th. 2 errors in the field led to 2 runs coming home. Or 1 run, I should say, coming home on 2 errors. 1-0 is a shallow pop-up into right field. It'll end up being the second baseman, Magpok, to make the running play. 1 down here in the 6th.
That's a nice play from Magpok, who's been really good defensively this summer with Brewster and for Orleans. Hasn't quite found his footing at the plate, but plays like that make it easy for Kelly Nicholson to slot him in his lineup and slot him in the field defensively. Because that time, it's a tough play for Terrell and Larson, but Magpok over the shoulder, hauls it in.
DeGiorgio calls time before the first pitch from Ulligaban to adjust his right leg guard. Steps back into the box and is ready to go. First pitch, cut and a miss. DeGiorgio singled back in the 4th, came around to score as the 6th run of the ball game popped out into right field. Back in the 2nd, 5 straight games in a row for him where he has had a hit. Certainly has been a producer at the bottom of the order for Ryan Smythe. 0-1. Chopped foul. No balls, 2 strikes. This an Orleans pitching staff that has started to settle in. D.C. Brown coming out of the game after he did a really nice job to just provide some stability. 2 1/3 for him with 2 hits, 1 run given up on 4 strikeouts. Ulligaban looking for his first K. Here's the pitch. It's lofted into shallow center field. That ball is down. That is the second single in a row on nearly the same thing for DeGiorgio. Both times he hasn't tried to do too much and just gets the ball into play.
And he's a guy that hits for average. You won't see a ton of extra base hits from him. But that time in a left-on-left against Ulligaban, shoots it up the middle and gives Wareham another base runner.
Now batting the second baseman, number 3, R.J. Hamilton from Duke.
So now it's the top of the order, R.J. Hamilton to the plate. First pitch in there for strike 1. DeGiorgio over at first. Quick look over at DeGiorgio. Does have a stolen base in this game. That came in the 4th inning, but he's back to the bag quickly. A 1. Chopped over to the third base side. Harmony will go to second. On to first, not in time. But Orleans cuts down the lead runner, and there's 2 down.
It's always going to be hard to get a double play ball from R.J. Hamilton, just with the sheer amount of speed that he has. But if you're Tyler Harmony, kind of shuffled with it on the transfer. So take another look. It's a glove on it, and then right there, bluffs once, and then goes to second. If you give R.J. Hamilton that extra second, be plenty of time.
So now Ulligaban looks to get out of this bottom half of the 6th with a 0 on the board going against Connor Cuff, who's 1 for 3 in this ball game. Hamilton definitely a speed threat over there at first. He's got 10 stolen bases. And these last 2 innings have definitely swung the way of Orleans. They've put up 2 runs. And looking for back-to-back zeros on the Wareham offense. But keeping things very close over there at first. One ball and one strike. Counter cuff at the plate. Hamilton over at first. A couple of pickoff tries. There's a strike. And McDougal is ready to throw down. One ball and two strikes now.
Dan, I can assure you one thing. There will be no bugs getting into our press
We got
box.
lots of bug spray. As the 1-2, McDougal thought was strike three, but we'll do it again. And was just regaining my breath after a absurd amount of bug spray was dispensed here in the press box. It just
Goggles, mask, all things we
made
didn't
me
know we
mince
needed
my
to-
words a little bit. Hamilton over to second. Check swing by Cuff. He goes around. So that's how the inning ends. After a bug spray incident and some more activity is up here in the press box. It is a four-batter inning for Alugabad, and at the end of 6 innings here at Spillane Field, it's still 6-2 in favor of the Gatemen.
Cranberry Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting financial success.
Home stretch at Spillane Field with Wareham in front of Orleans, 6-2. Adam Hipsky alongside Dan Shalam. It's time to go around the Cape as Bryce Turner takes the mound for his second inning of work. And Dan, it's a busy day. Yesterday, not so much. Wareham, the only game in action. But today, only one game has gone final, and it's one with some implications on our end. Bourne takes down Cotuit.
Certainly, that's a big one because if Wareham can hold this one out, they will just be 4 points back of that final playoff spot. That would be a huge win for them. Huge win for Wareham, just overall in the standings as you inch closer. So looking to really close this one out and try and get that win.
Adam Magpok digs in. And he's behind 0-2. Turner looking for a clean inning of work against the 2-3-4 hitters. Some other scores around the Cape. Hyannis in front of Falmouth. And YD with a 7-1 lead on Chatham. The Red Sox haven't been up to their usual standards of domination lately, Dan, but a 7-1 advantage over the Anglers.
What do you want? You want them to go 39-1 this season? I guess 38-1-1 with the tie.
They started to look the part early in this year. The 0-2 pitch misses down and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Magpok, who had an RBI single his last time up. Pretty good to see for Adam Magpok, a guy that was really struggling to start the summer. Leadoff guy in the top of the 7th. Turner's pitch. Flied out into center. Wax drifts in, makes the catch. 1 up, 1 down. Good start for Bryce Turner after an unearned run in the 6th inning. There were 2 outs and an error on the shortstop. Henry DeGiorgio extended the frame. Orleans eventually plated a run. This time, trying to not let it get to him. Starts the 7th with a nice fly out to center.
Yeah, and Wax was playing pretty far in on that one, anticipating that.
Brings up Tyler Myatt, the designated hitter, 0 for 3 today. One-0 called a strike. Myatt, the junior college Triple Crown winner, after a very productive season at Walter State Community College, was fantastic and earned the promotion up to Power 5 baseball, went to Tennessee. His numbers with Walter State were out of this world. Hit .484, Dan, 31 home runs, 110 RBIs. Set school records for home runs and runs batted in. Junior College Player of the Year. Tennessee loved him, and he's looked good with the Volunteers. Made a pretty good impression at the junior college level. Talking about first impressions, this guy was all over it for the Volunteers. First at bat, a pinch hit home run. Now he unloads on one down the right field line. Just foul. We talked about his first at bat as a Volunteer, then his first start with UT, 4 RBIs and a double. So a guy that is trying to make an impression right now. The top of the 7th with Wareham in front, 6-2. Pitch. Called strike 3. Inside corner, 3 straight strikeouts for Tyler Myatt. An 0 for 4 day for the Cape League All-Star. And there's now 2 gone in the 7th.
Yeah, it's uncharacteristic at the plate from Myatt. You rarely see that from him. Didn't like the call right there, but it was up and it was in. So he trots back to the dugout with a silver sombrero in this game.
Now it's Bub Terrell. Grounded into a double play his last time up. Tries to start a 2-out rally for Orleans, trailing by 4. First pitch outside. 0-1. Gatemen trying to win back-to-back games for the first time this summer after a victory yesterday at Falmouth. Turner's 1-0. Middle, called strike. Terrell hitless today after one of the best games we've seen across the entire Cape this summer. Had a 3-hit day against Chatham with a double, a triple, and a home run. The 1-1 is downstairs, 2-2. 2-1.
Did all the hard work. Just needed the single.
He had the chance. He got the at-bat. Could not deliver. Still an impressive day for Terrell. As the 2-1 comes home, it's cut on and missed. Terrell takes a walk around, and now Wareham puts a shift on Terrell. 3 infielders play to the right side of second. You see DeGiorgio, the typical shortstop, on the right side with Hamilton deep in the hole. 2-2's fought foul. On the left side, however, so Wareham trying to play the pull against Terrell. 2-2 the count with 2 gone.
Well, he's a guy, too, that can hit against the shift, so be interesting to see if his approach changes at all.
Turner's 2-2 is upstairs. Count runs full on Terrell. Turner looking for a clean 1-2-3 frame. Wareham has only retired the side in order once today. It was in the 3rd. Mark Brissy did it. A couple of ground outs and a strikeout. Payoff. Tapped foul. Ball comes in off the screen. right in front of Terrell and Nicolai. So the count remains full on Bub Terrell, the cleanup man out of Auburn. Turner has already thrown 43 pitches this day. Trying to finish his second inning. 3-2 is skied into deep right field. Apple goes back towards the alley and makes the catch for the third out of the inning. Terrell makes Turner work for it, but he retires the side in order. No hits, no runs, no errors in the field, nobody left on. Time to stretch at Spillane Field. Wareham has a 6-2 lead over Orleans.
Every child deserves the basics. Gifts to Give is making that happen, and you can help. Volunteer, donate, or shop their thrift store Saturdays. Visit giftstogive.org and make a difference today.
The Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and a recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 172 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
If you or a family member have been hurt at work, don't wait for the insurance company to discontinue your benefits or deny you medical treatment. Get an experienced workers' compensation attorney now before it's too late. The lawyers at Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP have been practicing workers' compensation law for many years and are experts in the field of workers' compensation law. Having the advantage of retaining an attorney early on may make all the difference in your case. Know your rights, be prepared, and contact Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP also have offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkmlaw.com.
Bottom of the seventh, and Cohen Nicolai right there on deck for the Gatemen, set to lead off this inning. Dan, he has been spectacular today. A 3-for-3 outing, trying to add to that to start the seventh.
Well, and the thing is with Cohen Nicolai is you usually think home run when he's killing it at the plate. But today it's been a couple of singles and then a deep drive into center field that turned into a double. He's really been hitting well today.
It's Luca Lagaban out for his second inning. First pitch is driven out to left field, down for a base hit. A 4-for-4 day for Cohen Nicolai with 3 singles.
It doesn't get much better than that, does it? To go 4-for-4, a guy with the batting average that really didn't tell the full story coming into this game. I'll tell you one thing. It's going to be higher after this one. And Nicolai has just been seeing it well, putting bat to ball today.
No doubt about that. Entered today around the 150 mark. Right now, after that hit, the batting average sits at 214. First pitch to Jason Wax, up and in. Pulls back a bunt attempt. Potentially trying to work Cohen Nicolai around the base paths in a 6-2 game where the Gatemen have totaled 11 hits. Time called from our home plate umpire, Will Bowers. He actually gives it to Jason Wax. We'll see if he continues to try and bunt. And a 1-ball, no-strike count. Alagaban's pitch. Cut on and missed. Slider moved away from Wax. Swings and misses, and it's 1-1. Alagaban's pitch. It's bunted to the right side. Magpok's got a rush. Goes to first in time. Good play from the second baseman. He needed to hurry on the right side and does so. See it slows down on the grass. Magpok on to first.
That was bang at the bag, but obviously first place umpire Mike Griffin had the best look at it, calls him out, and why not put down the bunt here? You're leading by 4. Wareham looking for that insurance run that can really solidify this game.
It's Foster Apple that digs in. He's got a hit today. Swings at the first pitch. Hits it over to the shortstop, Comiskey. Goes to first. It's in time. But back-to-back pitches. Nicolai goes from first to third. And now Wareham has potential 7th run of the game, 90 feet away.
Dylan Dubovic, who's been swinging a good bat today, trying to knock him in. Certainly a guy with plenty of power and potential. Just need a base hit here. Don't try and overcomplicate it.
So Dylan Dubovic, 1 for 3, a double back in the third. The Logaband's pitch, well outside. McDougal. It's a nice stop from him to prevent that one from rolling past. And Clyde was ready to sprint home with 2 outs. I think this is a spot where if you're the Gatemen, you're probably a little bit more aggressive.
Why not? Ready up by 4.
1 ball, no strikes. Swing and a miss. 1-1 the count now on Dubovic. Wareham hasn't scored since the 4th. Back-to-back zeros. 1 put up by D.C. Brown, 1 by Luca Lagaband. Dubovic didn't like it. Oof.
Did a full jump.
Trying to brush off the frustration after getting behind in the count 1-2. Right at the bottom of the zone. Catches the bottom rail. He's behind 1-2. Alagaband sets, pitches. Line to short. Comiskey snares it and prevents an extra run from coming in for the Gatemen. A leadoff single from Nikolai is all Wareham gets in the bottom of the 7th. Now, we sent things over to the 3rd member of our crew, CeCe Gabriel. What do you got?
MLB and CCBL fans get loads of excitement this week as both leagues have their all-star games. Meanwhile, spectators within the Banana Ball Championship League get heated plays all summer long, and Gatemen assistant coach Nate Ewing is no stranger to the BBCL. Their application package was more than just BP and fielding. It was singing, it was dancing, it was trick plays. Now, Ewing made it to the 2nd round of interviews, which was only 4,000 players. And the 3rd and final round, the draft, yeah, he made that one too. It was only 1,000 players in that one. Now, Ewing never was drafted, but he did tell me that he shares so many of the values of the BBCL. He told me that he just loves having fun on the field, and his message to the players as the kids clinic coach is for them to watch what they see the kids do every single day at Spillane and do it for themselves on the diamond to have fun. Guys, back to you.
Thanks so much, CeCe. Top of the 8th and a little bit of a surprise from Ryan Smythe. Bryce Turner's longest outing up to this point of the summer was just 1 inning. He's back to work looking for a 3rd clean frame in a 6-2 game, Dan.
Yeah, and this might be one where it's Bryce Turner until he lets up a base runner, because he has looked sharp. He worked a 1-2-3-7, so why not put him out there for the 8th? You got a 4-run lead. There's plenty of time to get him out of the game if he gets into some trouble.
He's facing 5, 6, 7 in this Orleans lineup. Garrett Larson, Jonathan Gomez, and Ryan McDougal. Orleans scored in back-to-back innings in the 5th and the 6th before Turner's 1-2-3-7th. Into his windup. First pitch of the innings, a fastball outside. Count moves to 1-0. Wareham trying to pick up back-to-back wins. Also in search of its first victory of the summer over Orleans. Grounded left side, and it's a fair ball off the glove of Cuff. Now a chance for extra bases for Larson. Goes to 2nd. The throw comes in. It's in time. DeGiorgio saves a nearly disastrous start to the inning for the Gatemen. Connor Cuff, it skips off the leather, and DeGiorgio has to sprint, turns, and throws a laser to 2nd to cut down a runner. And just like that, there's 1 down and the bases are clear.
What a play, and DeGiorgio bails out Cuff. A nice job there to pick him up, and just a little bit too aggressive from Larson.
Now the first pitch to Jonathan Gomez is that nasty backdoor slider that breaks into the zone. Strike one on Gomez. Pitch is popped up, right side, and won't be playable. Turner back-to-back strikes. And that last play from DeGiorgio has to feel so good for Bryce Turner. As a guy that came out and threw in the 6th inning, saw a run come across, and 2 balls that were put in play were errors. 0-2 misses outside. But in that one, obviously, it comes in as a single, but you're not getting help from Connor Cuff at third. Hit or an error either way. If you're Turner, you're just glad that there's no base runner.
Well, exactly. And great job from DeGiorgio to pick his teammate up after he had an error in the field. It's just got to feel good all around.
Gomez in a 1-2 count, batting 7th today for the Firebirds. 1-2. Another one grounded foul. Gomez doing a nice job fighting him off, staying alive.
Well, that was also Turner's 50th pitch of the outing, so he's getting stretched out here for sure.
Nobody is throwing down in left field for Wareham. 1-2. Grounded left side. DeGiorgio snares deep in the hole. That will take a nearly impossible throw. Proves to be. And what goes down as back-to-back hits for the Orleans offense, neither one left the infield, Dan.
No, but you're just super glad that time that DeGiorgio made the play on the last one so that there's not 2 runners on and no one out, just 1 runner on, 1 down. The double plays in order. You're facing the bottom of this lineup. Not a huge worry here.
It's Ryan McDougal with 1 out and a runner on first. Turner getting stretched out in this game. From the stretch, outside, 1 ball and no strikes. McDougal reached on an error his last time up. 1-0. Up and away. Be interesting to see if Turner ultimately starts to look, pitches start to feel pinch more fatigued.
He's thrown so many now. 53.
The starter Mark Brissy for the Gatemen through 65. As the 2-0 is sent high in the air to right. Apple back, Wynn getting a hold of it, and he makes the catch. Gomez had a sizable lead off of first in case that one dropped. But Foster Apple does his job, and there is 2 away.
And off the bat, didn't seem like that one would be a problem, but it just kept going back and back and back, and the wind is blowing that direction. But stays in the park, and there's 2 down.
So now Tyler Harmony digs in. Trying to extend the inning and cut into this Wareham lead. First pitch, fouls it away. A hitless day for Harmony. He's 0 for his last 10. College teammates with Henry DeGiorgio, the shortstop for the Gatemen. Behind 0-1. Turner sets and fires. Foul straight back. Back-to-back foul balls from the left-handed third baseman. And Turner approaching 60 pitches, but trying to get out of it before he reaches that mark. Turner takes a look over to first. Goes home. Called strike 3. Rings up Harmony, and after some help from the defense, Turner does his job. 3 innings, hasn't allowed an earned run, keeps Wareham in front by 4. Potentially the last chance for the Gatemen to tack on some insurance. They'll send 7-8-9 to the plate when we return on Cape League TV.
Get your merch at the Wareham Gatemen website and click shop to view our latest merch drops. The 2026 Gatemen Kids Clinic registration is live and open. Starting next week, kids will have the chance to be taught by Gatemen coaches and players. For more information, visit the Wareham Gatemen website for dates, times, prices, and opportunities for your kids to have the most memorable week of their summer.
Defensively, Wareham just 3 outs away, but offensively, it's been the Gatemen bats that have propelled them to a 6-2 lead, Dan.
They've been hitting, and it really came in those first 3 innings when they were just attacking the starters. Jake Eccles put a nice bat on ball. This was the headline of it all. Tony Lira with the home run, but really it was just consistent at-bats where they were stringing together good counts and taking advantage of it.
Offensively, Wareham sends the bottom of its order to the plate this half inning. Tony Lira, Carter Growit, and Henry DeGiorgio, righty, lefty. And they'll go up against a new arm for the Firebirds. It's an Alyssa Watling intuitive pitching change, and it's a guy that's primarily been a starter, has started against the Gatemen. Casey Uper, the Cape League All-Star, comes out to try and keep Orleans within striking distance.
Yeah, the southpaw from Pepperdine on. And you mentioned it. The past 4 appearances for him have all been starts. This is his first appearance out of the bullpen since the first game of the season against the Falmouth Commodores. His last start was brilliant. 5 innings of 4-hit no-run ball with 10 strikeouts. So a move here from Kelly Nicholson just to keep this game at 4, try and give his offense a shot.
So that means Luca Alagaban's day is done and his line is final. The righty from Harvard gives Kelly Nicholson and company 2 innings, allows 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and 1 strikeout. Uper steps atop the mound, the only all-star for Orleans on the pitching staff. His first pitch of the day misses down and into Tony Lira for ball 1. I would say a couple of hitters on this Orleans team got the nod. Dom Cadiz, who was a late scratch to the Firebirds lineup. Tyler Myatt, 1-0 is fouled back. But Uper has certainly earned it. Against Wareham, 5 2/3. The only outing of the summer where he allowed more than 1 run came against the Gatemen. Lira checks a swing. He did not offer at it. First base umpire Mike Griffin gives Lira the call. First baseman gets ahead in the count. 2 balls and 1 strike. Uper winds and fires. Outside, 3 balls and 1 strike. Kind of an interesting maneuver to give Uper the call in this moment.
It's weird, for sure.
3-1. Called a strike. Lira tossed his bat to the on-deck circle. Will Bowers says, actually, you're going to have to go pick that one up.
That was low. Nice frame job by McDougal. Waiting for it to come in on the StatCast to really see. Yeah, that one probably 60-40 below the rail.
Payoff. Grounded foul. Lira stays alive. I think Will Bowers in general has given hitters, fans, broadcasters, anyone watching this some late arriving calls. It's another payoff comes home. Hit up the middle, nearly takes off Casey Uper's head. But a leadoff single from Tony Lira. He's got 2 hits today.
Yeah, that ball was smacked. And Uper stares him down over there at first after. That ball was inches away from hitting his head. Had to duck out of the way, but more positive momentum for Tony Lira offensively.
Back-to-back innings for the Gatemen where they've put the leadoff runner aboard. Last inning it was Cohen Niklai. Had the leadoff single, made it over to third. But after Dylan Dubovic's line out, Wareham couldn't plate another run. First pitch to Carter Groen, up and in for ball 1. Groen hitless today. but did reach base back in the second. He was hit by a pitch. Groen, one of just 2 Wareham hitters without a hit today. Check over on first. Jason Wax being the other for the Gatemen. Wax also the only player in this Gatemen lineup that has not reached base, an 0 for 4 day for him. Right now, 1-0 on Groen. Fastball inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Big hole on the right side of the infield. Magpok shaded towards the bag in double play depth. And with Bub Terrell holding on Tony Lira at first. Groen in a 2-0 count. Could potentially try and put one in play opposite field. 2-0. Cut on and missed. Off speed from Uper. Wareham in the driver's seat right now. A 6-2 lead. Finn Edwards up and throwing for the Gatemen in left field. Could potentially get the 9th to try and shut the door and give the Gatemen a win. 2-1 outside. The win would also put Wareham at 7-6 at home. The first time above 500 this summer. 3-1 fouled straight back. That being record at home. Of course, the splits not marginally better between home and road. It's been substantially better here at Spillane Field. Obviously well documented. The Gatemen just picked up their first road win of the summer yesterday. 3-2. Pitch low, ball 4. The throw down doesn't matter. Lira's in there safely. And Groen off to first.
You mentioned the road success finally coming for Wareham yesterday. Quite the challenge tomorrow. See if you really have it on the road when the Gatemen travel to take on the league best YD Red Sox. Hoping to be on a 2-game winning streak heading into that game.
Looking for it. Would be the first one of the summer. As Henry DeGiorgio digs in a 6-2 game with 2 aboard and nobody out. Uper collects himself. DeGiorgio squares to bunt. Well inside. He got a piece of it. It's strike 1. Probably a little bit of frustration from Henry DeGiorgio because that's absolutely not a pitch you want to offer at.
Oh, he tried to get out of the way, but he clipped a part of his bat.
2 for 3 day from the shortstop out of Northeastern. Can extend this Gatemen lead. Squares once again, lays it down, but it's foul. That offering a much more appropriate pitch to try and square, but can't put it in the field of play. He's behind 0-2.
Now he's got to swing.
Gatemen in search of their first runs since the 4th inning. Last chance for some insurance. The 0-2, he squares, pulls back, called strike 3. Roller coaster of an at-bat for Henry DeGiorgio, but he's down on 3 pitches, and there's one away in the 8th.
That's unfortunately about the last thing you want to do with runners at first and second and nobody out. Try and square the bunt and then go down on 3 pitches. You at least wanted to try and put a ball in play, even if it wasn't a bunt.
It's back to the top of the order for Wareham. R.J. Hamilton, the leadoff second baseman, steps in. Still 2 on and 1 out. Uper lifted the leg, pivoted off the mound. Hamilton, 1 for 3 on the evening. Started the game with a double. Uper's first pitch is a fastball. Puts Hamilton behind 0-1. Gatemen started this game about as well as you could have asked. 2 hitters in, and Wareham had a 1-0 lead. After a scoreless top of the first from Mark Brissy, who went 4 innings, gave up just 1 hit and no runs. Cape League All-Star certainly looked the part today. After Hamilton called for time, wiggles back into the box. Nothing in one. Uper goes home. Cut on and missed. Good pitch from Uper. Can't imagine he'll give much in this position to R.J. Hamilton. Oh, 2. Fouled away. Wasn't a comfortable swing by any sense of the word from R.J. Hamilton, but with 2 strikes on him, he does his job and stays alive.
Protects. That's all he had to do there.
Lear off of second, Groen on first. The 0-2. Up and away. Easy take for R.J. Hamilton in a 6-2 game. Orleans have scored 2 unanswered. But Wareham had that 6-0 lead. It's tied for their largest advantage of the summer. 1-2, runners on the move, out away. Lyra was sprinting to third. We saw earlier Cohen Nicolai try and steal a base. This time it's Tony Lyra that takes off.
Well, the interesting part there, too, is that Groen didn't trail him. So he was still over there at first. So theoretically, a ground ball there would have still resulted in a possible double play.
Uper still in a 1-2 count. 6th pitch of the at-bat. After a long pause. Doesn't come home. Instead it goes to second. Magpie covering. Lyra back easily. Connor Cuff on deck for the Gatemen. Uper deals the 1-2. Fouled straight back. Hamilton really doing a nice job staying alive. Continuing to fight away pitch after pitch. Now 3 foul balls in his last 4 pitches that he's seen.
He's just going down with a fight here. He's in a hole, but a more than capable hitter who has showed that pop already today. Hamilton doing a great job.
Lyra and Groen. 2 guys on for the Gatemen. Uper trying to retire Hamilton. The 1-2 flared out to right, dropping quickly. Another diving catch from Larson. He goes to first, and Groen somehow gets back. Now they throw to second, and Tony Lyra didn't tag in time. That's a double play from Wareham after another unreal highlight reel grab from Garrett Larson. I mean, how do you come away with this one? Dropping quickly, and he makes the catch. Gatemen weren't ready for it, but still a chance for Wareham to shut the door. They've got a 4-run edge as we head to the 9th on Cape League TV.
Hey, Gatemen fans, give it up for a hometown MVP, Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen clean up on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean every day. Big hits, clean streets, and reliable service you can count on. Now that's a winning team. Visit elharveynewbedford.com or call 508-995-0544. Harvey New Bedford, keeping Wareham game ready all season long.
Searching for a golf cart, street legal low-speed vehicle, or utility vehicle? Come visit C2 Vehicles in Wareham or online at c2vehicles.com. Trusted across the South Coast, Cape and Island since 1978, C2 Vehicles has the ride for work, play, and everything in between. Broken PS5 or Xbox? A+ Repair specializes in all repairs, including game consoles, computers, smartphones, and tablets. Walk-ins are welcome, and most repairs are done in less than an hour. 508-962 2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installation, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention and rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
We've hit the 9th at Spillane Field. Wareham in front of Orleans, 6-2. Ryan Smythe looks to make one last maneuver to the bullpen. It's an Alyssa Watling intuitive pitching change. Finn Edwards on for the Gatemen to try and shut the door and give Wareham back-to-back wins for the first time this summer, Dan.
Obviously not a save situation for Finn Edwards, but he was thrown into a similar spot up by 3 against Hyannis the other day on the 11th. And in that one, he got the save after an inning of 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, no run ball. That's the most important part of it. Obviously, Ty Stark was in that role. He now no longer with the team going forward, so Wareham looking for a new guy to take on this 9th inning role, and it seems as of right now, it's Finn Edwards.
He's got plenty of run support at his back. He'll face the 9-1-2 hitters for the Firebirds. Starts with Casey Comiskey, followed by the leadoff hitter Rowan Kelly and the switch-hitting Adam Magpok. Starts with the righty and then a lefty. Edwards, across his now double-digit appearances, has not faced the Firebirds. We're ready to go in the 9th. Orleans has scored 2 unanswered. It'll need 4 to extend this game. First pitch. Fastball outside, 1-0. Edwards. It's really fastball, fastball, fastball until the wheels come off. He's got a slider, but we've hardly seen it this summer. From the windup, the 1-0. Right back to the fastball. He's behind 2-0. Comiskey, a 1-for-3 today. Singled and scored back in the 5th, reached on an error in the 6th. Each of those 2 innings were the 2 where the Firebirds scored their pair of runs. 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th. 1 in the 5th was against Ikatakis. It was earned. 1 in the 6th against Bryce Turner, unearned. 2-1, out away. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Still 4 straight fastballs off the right hand of Finn Edwards.
It's worked for him. I mean, over his last 4 outings now, he hasn't given up a run.
Comiskey looking for back-to-back multi-hit games. 2-2. Flared and fouled. Count remains 2-2. Comiskey's first multi-hit game of the summer was last time out against Chatham. That game on Sunday after the nearly league-wide off day yesterday, as the 2-2 is lined down the left field line, curling foul and out of play. Could have been danger, but Comiskey out in front of the fastball. Count remains level at 2-2.
Exactly. He was early on it there. Clearly, finally saw one that he liked. Going to have to battle once again here in a 2-2 count.
7th pitch of the at-bat. Edwards to Comiskey. He sets and delivers. Fly ball out to right field. Apple tracking towards the line. Hat comes off. Sliding grab. Can't make the play. Comiskey motors into second. Throw is offline. And a leadoff double for the 9th hitting Casey Comiskey. Back-to-back multi-hit games. Firebirds in business to start out the 9th.
That was a tough play for Apple. Going all the way over. Slides. Tries to make the basket catch. And it falls right in front of him.
Now the lineup card turns over for Orleans. Rowan Kelly, the leadoff center fielder, who's 1 for 4 today, can make this a 3-run game with a base hit. Edwards tries to work around the leadoff extra base hit. First pitch, up and away, 94-mile-an-hour four-seamer, and it's 1-0. Kelly just 1 for his last 8. 1-0. Down and away, 2 balls and no strikes. Orleans took each of the first 2 matchups against Wareham this summer. So the Gatemen searching for their first victory over the Firebirds. Still 3 outs away, the 2-0. Down the middle, a called strike. An easy decision for our home plate umpire, Will Bowers. Kelly grounded out to end the threat in the 6th. It's the last run Orleans put on the board. The 2-1. Punched. Left field. Base hit. Stop sign given. Runners on the corners for the Firebirds. Nobody out, and the tying run on deck with the switch hitting Adam Magpok set to step to the plate.
Certainly don't love this now. If you are Wareham, a nice job by getting it in quickly from Groen to not let a run come in. But Magpok, a guy who is struggling into this game coming in, has an RBI single already. And it does not favor Edwards to go right on left here.
Magpok, 1 for 3 today, had the RBI single back in the 5th. Infield still playing him straight up. First pitch. Finally goes slider. Off target. Outside for ball 1. Feels awfully similar to yesterday's 9th inning, Dan. It's the 1-0. It's taken for strike 1. Allowed 3 guys to reach, 2 singles and a hit by pitch. Right now it's a double and a single, but Magpok trying to make himself become the 3rd guy to reach base this inning. The 1-1, grounded foul. Wareham on the verge of its first back-to-back wins of the summer. Orleans trying to rally and pick up its first 3-game win streak of the summer. Finn Edwards trying to deny the Firebirds. 1-2, cut on and missed. Big strikeout from Finn Edwards. He needed every bit of it. Gets Magpok to wave and miss. And now the Gatemen are 2 outs away in the 9th.
That's a big out because now the double play gets you out of this game entirely. Still another tough lefty to go to in Mejia, a guy who is going to be hunting for a hit.
A guy, when you look at the numbers, statistically due. 0 for 4 today, 3 strikeouts. The Cape League All-Star, first pitch, called strike. Started to load up, but holds a swing. Gets himself behind 0-1. My 4 home runs this summer, 9 runs driven in. Long ball here would make it a 1-run game. Hits it on the ground right side, a chance for 2. Hamilton flips to short. DeGiorgio, the relay in time. Wareham wins it. 4-6-3. Finn Edwards slams the door. And for the first time this summer, the Gatemen have back-to-back wins heading into a tall task with the YD Red Sox tomorrow afternoon.
Well, it wasn't pretty at the end, but a perfect job by Finn Edwards to get the double play ball and end off this ball game. That is a big win for the Gatemen, 6-2. Exact same score line that the Firebirds beat the Gatemen with in the first game here at Spillane Field. So that is a bounce back. They flipped the script, and you mentioned it, back-to-back wins for the first time this season. You couldn't ask for a better recipe heading into tomorrow's matchup with the YD Red Sox.
So game 25 goes the way of Wareham, and with a Cotuit loss, the Gatemen pull within 4 points of that final playoff position. Dan, it was the hot start. Wareham got out to a 6-0 run due to a lot of these hits. timely hitting. They were dominant with runners into scoring position.
That they were. They capitalized, and actually Orleans ends the game with a runner left in score, or just a runner left on base in every inning but 2. So they had their opportunities, but Wareham capitalized today to get the win.
Yes, they did. First 2-game win streak. Gatemen starting to heat up. They'll need every bit of it tomorrow ahead of a matchup with YD.
Certainly will. It's going to be a big one. A YD squad that is in control right now against Chatham, so you think they're going to be on a little streak going into it? Should be a fun challenge.
See right there, plenty of hugs, happiness going around Spillane Field. Why aren't you? The Gatemen take it 6-2 over Orleans. A dominant victory for the Gatemen. All right, for our entire production crew, we thank everyone back there making it all happen. For my partner, Dan Shalam, I'm Adam Hipsky. Game 26 comes tomorrow at Red Wilson Field. Wareham takes on YD at 5 o'clock, and the Gatemen take it 6-2. One last note, a reminder that this broadcast is an unauthorized retransmission of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Any duplication strictly prohibited. That does it for this matchup between Wareham and Orleans. The Gatemen are winners of back-to-back. We'll talk to you tomorrow.